music down, and welcome to tonight's session 52 of our lovely little group of desert adventurers.
I thought you were about to say 52 out of 100,284. What?
Well, it is of 1,180.
There you
You're close.
And the Friday night group have almost hit 200 game sessions.
Nice. Which is surprising because I just counted how many pages I've used in my book, and I was surprised that it's only like 13 for that many sessions.
It might be because you don't take a lot of notes. It's teasing
I've
you.
been trying to take more. I've moved from going to half a page to taking up almost a full page, if not a page and a half, on most sessions in the last couple of weeks. So I'm getting better.
Just reading up, so you must be the undead.
The undead.
Yeah, well, you had the pirate.
Would Josh be able to get Cal Creek's books and dice down
Yep.
for her?
We've got the dragon.
And
We've got the
dragons.
paladin. So you must have been the undead thing. That's in the description.
Technically, I'm the only one in this party to have fully died. So, no, yeah. So.
go. Those ones first.
No, Emdrak did fully die.
Oh, did he fully die as well?
Yeah,
he fully died.
That's when he got his first problem.
Oh, okay.
When he
Right.
exploded the whole thing.
Oh, no, that's right.
No. It's before when he actually met his god.
Well, I did say the undead stalker of nature, she's a cleric of nature,
Hi.
and she stalks undead. Just that she may actually become an undead stalker at some point is completely up on that.
My food's just in the microwave. It can just be taken out. Just be careful not to burn this up.
So, starting with Ariadna.
Caprix,
Yeah.
the white dragon with the jazz wings,
Yeah.
currently missing her grindle waffle with the coffee,
Yeah.
but surviving somehow on various exotic coffees from the land of Yalarum.
Yep.
Yay!
Organized them into different.
And you're exploring far
That's
more
not
than you
easier.
did before.
And you've
Yes.
got that furnace that you bury, and then when you dig it up, it's hot.
Well, you
Did
don't have to bury it, you just have to put it in the sand. The sand's that
Yeah.
light.
Great. I love how we're sleeping in the day because it's what?
Yeah.
You
I'm a
pretty
night
mu-
owl anyway, so
You
I
pretty
know.
much bury yourself in the sand in a tent, and use the sand as a way of giving you some protection from the sun.
It's kind of the same you do in the snow. You make a snow cave because it's insulated, and the sand even going down, I think 5-10 centimeters drops like 3 degrees. So, yay science!
Yeah, unfortunately, I've done survival. So I'm not very good at it, but I've done it. That's why I know a little bit about it, but not enough to survive.
Nature documentaries. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and next person we have is Ross.
I'm playing the Yodri.
I'm
The
going to
pirate
do a couple of things in there, so
babysitter.
just leave it on the bench.
You're the swashbuckling
I'm the
pirate.
swashbuckling pirate babysitter. Well, actually, not really a baby because he's older than me.
I thought you were the swash nanny.
Well, he's not an
Yeah, I
adult
would
yet.
say
Swash nanny.
He's still not an adult, so it is technically a babysitter. Many humans have to go generations raising elves.
Yes, the creature from
Just
beyond.
creating a dragon seed.
Currently
Just like dragon does. Perfect.
dressed in desert attire. I love this
That's so
armor.
cute.
Will it to whatever I want it to look
That's okay. I just wanted to be amusing having Ariel to put some little.
Bunny toy for cat.
Oh,
like.
okay.
Yeah, cat's not watching it.
No, that's okay.
No,
I just-
he plays with him at random, and when he does, it's hilarious because he thinks you're not watching, and he it just looks like he's going mental while he's playing with it. And then when he sees you watching, he just drops it and goes, "What?" and then walks off.
My dog literally threw a toy into my face last night, so that was fun.
Yeah, that's play smart.
Just a second.
Pretty much.
Haven't quite finished yet.
Because I was sitting down patting her, and then she decided to get up. She fetched her toy, and she literally she flicked it at me, and then let it go, and just whacked me in the face.
It's like a black eye. When am I going to black eye
Like
my
stuff.
dog?
Well, it's not the first time she's done it though.
Can't you see? the dice man. Alright, now I'm happy. Oh, that's costing.
Maybe you should have brought it closer to you.
I don't need all this space at the moment.
Now that Em's like drinking. Yeah.
And now that I have a mouthful of half a shot of coffee. I am Sol. I am the cleric wizard, still pretending to be a ranger because why not?
Well, you attack from range.
Yeah.
Failed range.
Yeah. No. Shush you. Except that every time I
I forgot to get one
face combat, I am always on the side where the monster appears, and always end up dying very quickly because I have woeful health.
On the plus side, there's one thing you can hit
Oh,
at
you've got
maximum
plus
range.
What?
There is 2 dice
Oh, there's a paladin.
You got the pretty wood one that matches the dice ones.
Yeah, just let
Oh,
me
no.
let me nick the paladin's arm with my arrow and watch him spontaneously die.
Okay.
And yes, we are traveling.
I definitely have to get something to hold my cameras in place.
many
Like
animals
blue tack
in
or-
the in the
I don't want to stick blue tack to the table.
desert.
Oh, there's a table.
Yes.
So you
Camera.
need a tripod.
That camera here.
Oh, okay.
Instead of staring, so when it actually records, so people who see me
Okay,
online can
yeah.
actually see my
Alright,
face.
sorry. I
Otherwise,
did
all
not
cameras point
understand
that way.
where you meant.
So the tripod mount on it? Is it a Logitech?
It does have a tripod mount on it. I just don't have any tripods. So the only tripod I've got is for a big camera, which would take up the entire table.
No, I can get
We'll
access.
probably get him some.
No, I've got access to a small Kenry tripod with 2 mounts that I'm never going to use.
I
Defense buying this stuff. They're going, okay, they got the cameras cheap. It comes with a tripod. Okay.
Throw out
Just
the
throw
tripod.
tripods out because all the cameras need to be mounted
On the one side. I could use 3 if you could get 3.
I have a few spare as well, and I should hopefully have access to them very soon because I need to start packing. Yay! So I can also find some. And they're small, like.
So we're just missing Josh.
And from the kitchen we have the of course the most important one, Josh.
The canteen paladin.
Look
Hello. I'm organising food at the moment, but I'm playing Cheval. The almighty paladin. Very depressed.
Aw.
Very moody.
Well, no, he's in a country that adores him. So this is actually
I am feeling slightly better because I am in a country that adores me.
Okay.
this is probably the happiest we've seen Chevelle in probably like 5 years.
And it's hot. It's no mopey rain forest where I get dumped on by rain. There's no people that look at me sideways because I'm a paladin and want to kill me.
It doesn't help that you scream paladin in their face whenever they look at you, but you know
We're currently on the wrong type of sea.
what.
Yes, the sea dunes of the Great Desert.
do they have like sand riders?
But of course, none of them are available because the area you're in is horsemen. They don't seem to need to have any other construction but horses.
Which Zal
Completely
gets.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
But-
just some
No,
things that they've
why?
deviated from
Yes.
are a bit weird.
Just the
Why?
fact that they've
OG,
incorporated
RE,
horses
right.
into their house.
Yeah.
Under their houses.
If it had an eye, I would.
Yes.
You understand the incorporating horses into
No.
their house, but you don't understand
The
houses.
houses, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact you have closed walls.
We end up calling.
Pilfer. Pilfer.
And
She's
are you
pilfering
spelling
stuff.
that Pilfred?
Whatever spells phonetically.
Pilfred?
Now, however you pronounce it is correct. That's how I go with it.
Pilfer.
However you want to spell it is how.
Well,
it's spelled.
And if it's different to someone else's, then they're both correct. Well, it helps that I can't pronounce things sometimes.
I often, when I read phonetically, and I have a problem as well with learning Japanese because the A-I-O-U is also said differently. So when I'm reading some text, I default to how it's pronounced in Japanese. So it's
Well, I just learned recently that in Brazil in Portuguese, the E's are pronounced as I's and the I's are pronounced as E's. So it's interesting when they're trying to figure out how to make it all work together.
Mm.
Our guide's name was Jesus.
It was Jesus, yes. So, to be honest, I didn't note down that. I'm glad you remembered.
I thought Jesus was the one who gave us the note to
No,
go
that
to
was
the
no,
tea house.
Yosef.
Oh no, it's Asan actually.
No, I was
Asan.
about to say
Asan.
Asan.
It's the guide.
So it's Asan, A-S-A-N,
Well, however you want to spell it is correct.
A-S-A-N,
I've
Asan.
got the Dwarven tea set for the Korea's tea drink.
Because Jesus was the one that gave us the note to go to the tea house.
Yep.
And Asan was one of the three
guides that
could
we
choose
ended up
from.
with.
I don't think we called the names of the other guys,
It's
but I don't
unfortunate
think.
that Stefan's on this. Hang this is back.
Yeah, he would have liked that. Maybe save him some for tomorrow.
Oh, we got some.
Yeah,
I've got a packet of 16, so.
Well, then, yeah, tomorrow maybe. At the end of the last game, we headed out.
You headed out into the desert with Asan.
And we could hear the chirping of desert axbeaks
Yep.
surrounding us.
And,
No, not surrounding us, chasing frogs.
Chasing frogs,
Zal
that's right.
Zal listened in, and they were happily. Well, they were just chirping about random stuff, and then they spotted a frog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And your Axbeak has a superiority complex with
I don't think it's a superiority complex. It's just the fact that he's like, oh,
Getting high
active.
by licking toads, basically.
No, he's going. Why do they sound dumb? And Zal now knows why.
High on licking toads.
Well, I think it's also because he's been raised as more of a solitary one.
Well, because they are
And the other
supposed
one's
to
more-
be. It's very
and-
well in
and-
the plains and the grasses
And,
now.
and these ones are more packed.
Though, I don't think he's going to have a problem if he comes across one, because they're going to be too stoned to do anything.
Well, no, he'd be quite happy to go across one because he'll go chicken.
So he's going to be like, you're not right.
And-
You're all dull and gross looking.
I think they might actually be smaller.
Oh, probably.
Well, considering he ate his brother,
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have problems eating another Axbeak.
No, I don't see a problem.
Unless it's bigger and meaner than you.
That is still
And casts better rune magic.
I mean, we still haven't quite got there with the rune magic with him yet, but
After dinner, little Easter pickles.
Very cute.
Is your Easter bunny? Because you can't eat chocolate.
And it's not cat meat laced.
yeah. Well, it's funny. It's just like all the dog groups and things I like on Facebook over the last few days have been posting about just chocolate and being careful with like kids giving dogs chocolate. Well, a vet in Sydney posted up this morning about 2 French bulldogs that got into a whole ton of grapes. And they had to get taken into juice being sick.
Chewing grapes aren't good for dogs either.
Because they were saying, you know, be careful with your hot cross buns and grapes, because grapes are super poisonous to dogs. Kidney failure, yay!
Okay, so your second day into the desert, and you in the morning, as evening starts to come up, you hear the sounds of a caravan coming in your direction. And then about an hour after dusk, you see the lights of the caravan.
I asked our guide on how often caravans travel to these roads, I guess.
He says, well, we're on the caravan route at the moment because, well, it's the quickest way to get to where you wanted to go. So you're probably likely to see one here once a week to once a fortnight if you're lucky.
What are the caravans usually transporting through?
Well, various things, but we can. They're always willing to sell and make money on the road because that's less to carry,
Yeah.
and they're generally more than happy to deal with people.
They have, because we've had lots of bandit attacks recently. Do they travel with, like mercenary?
Normally, yes, or they've paid off the bandits. A bit of both. He doesn't recommend paying off the bandits because they always want more.
And then there are also probably on the list and probably attack you anyway.
Yeah.
Very rarely will they attack you anyway. It's no good for business. If they're known to keep their word and not attack you because you paid them, then more merchants will pay them.
Or just the fact that the more that merchants will pay them, the higher the payment gets.
Yeah. So eventually merchants can't afford to pay them and they get attacked.
Yeah.
And then the bandits generally get cleared out and another group comes in and starts the whole process all over again.
Yes. Well, do you want to turn the map over?
I will.
Again, you could also use offline doors.
You can also check out the thing I did for you because it might actually help you.
Once it's not stopping those groups also.
Because I did put in a few surprises in there for you. But if you don't look, you don't get it. So Wi-Fi should be on now. Or at least starting up.
Hasn't come to a low yet, but I'm sure we'll get there.
And yes, so your quest has been set by Redrian to go into the desert and find out what a strange cult that has arisen is doing, and basically investigate. Investigate doesn't mean wipe out, but how you deal with it has been left to you guys.
So I would prefer to avoid combat for a little while.
Well,
I still.
depends on how big the cult is. But if it's big enough to cause a lot of attention, then we can say
Sorry, what's causing the trouble?
The cult that we've gone to investigate at the ruins,
Right.
among other things that we're investigating.
But if the problem is if the cult, if the item that they are worshipping happens to go against a certain person's view, I don't think we're going to have much of a choice.
Oh, the paladin.
So it all depends on what the paladin does. Is probably what we're going to be doing.
But we're not up to that yet, are we?
No,
It's
not
just
yet.
something we've got to figure out.
And so while you're discussing this, the caravan gets closer. You can see that it has about 16 camels in train. And you can see probably about 100 odd people moving around it with what appear to be about 2 or 3 squads of soldiers moving either side.
Soldiers.
Royalty, or some bloody rich merchant.
Or merchants have banded together to travel in a group, which makes it even harder for bandits to attack.
So they're pulling their resources essentially.
That's a merchant train in the region. The Asan says that's typical of a merchant train.
Okay.
They travel with protection. They always expect the worst. And a small group like you, they will be happy to trade with, as long as you don't pull out weapons in the back. Plus you have a paladin with you, which means that you'll get favorable prices.
Yep.
And they've probably already noticed the stupid fact looking.
Yeah,
You just have to.
Well, at the moment
any
it's
step-
night, so you guys have been travelling without lights.
Yeah, I know, but do they just have to look in his general
They
direction
have to
at
see
night?
him.
Oh, so they do actually have to see him, not.
If they don't see him, they don't know.
Yeah, but guaranteed they have at least 1 or 2 scouts on their party who have gone ahead. They've probably spotted us and have already reported back saying there's a group up ahead with a paladin.
But they still won't come to you unless you set a light and wait till.
Do we want to see if they want to trade or anything? Or just
Just-
see if
we
we
don't-
can get some info
the,
from them?
the other thing is you're probably getting some information. And
Yeah,
they may
under
be,
the guise of trade.
and they may be aware of any weird things that are being happening.
Be a chance for intel. Take the cloak of the paladin.
Make the paladin flame on. That's
No,
the
no,
vibe,
no.
right?
Basically, the paladin is the one going to be doing the speaking.
Yes, exactly. So we'll just take his hood off his head, and I'm sure that'll be enough of a light.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Flame on, buddy.
So are they're within sight, I'm guessing?
You can see their torches coming
Okay.
as they are lighting up around them as they
Do
travel.
you want to take your hood off and see if we can get
You
some
want to
intel?
light up the area?
It seems like a good idea.
Should we
Okay.
do like can we perceive anything else around us?
At the moment, you're travelling through starlight, so you get vague shadows and stuff. And
We're trying to generally stay pretty low, but if there's a
Yeah,
caravan,
but as soon as she shows her flowing,
beacon.
burning hair, it basically screws up our night vision.
Yes, you can't see
Well,
as
we
well.
could just light a torch.
even
That
then,
it does the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, if we wanted to have a caravan,
And Hassan says the caravans come along every now and then, but not often.
You probably
So
only
I
see
think this
one
is a
during
good
this trip.
opportunity. Yeah.
very weird. So flame on, buddy.
Okay.
Do you have a sound effect for that?
Probably.
Give a torch going, flame on!
Explosion!
There you go, there's your sound effect.
Perfect.
Okay, so as soon as you start lighting up around you, you see the procession stop for a moment, and then pick up speed coming towards you.
I stand behind Cheval because I'm aware that seeing a dragon might scare them, and so I will wait until they start a conversation and figure out we're friendly before I show myself.
Yeah, we can hide out behind Paladin in the dark. That's not creepy at all.
Well, you
right?
guys aren't dragons.
Well, yeah, but you can hide with the rest of the animals.
Yeah.
You blend in there.
Okay.
Me and the axe speak are playing dice.
So about an hour later, they reach you.
Ow.
Well, yeah, because
Well-
we could see their lights from God knows how far away because they're all lit up in the dark desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as you drop the hood, they can see if there's a light out there. And as soon as they look at the light, it says Paladin.
Yeah.
Everyone go towards the paladin.
Okay, and when they get into about 300 feet from you, you can see them a lot clearer. They seem to be rushing forward to see if there's someone in need of aid by the looks of them.
Someone in need of aid.
Well, they might think that you're an emergency.
I'm a
Beacon.
flare.
The beacons are lit! Sorry.
Very close to that. Well, basically, someone put out the thing, Paladin!
No.
And you see that you've got about 20 soldiers with weapons ready in front of you.
Yeah.
Hello.
They sort of look at each other and look at you, and then your guide sort of he bows towards them and speaks to them in a very fluid language.
Ah.
It's very very musical, but very hard to understand what it is they're saying.
That's the like Ethengarian drive.
That's the Yalari language.
Yeah, but you are.
The actual local language that is is a mixture of has a little bit of Ethengarian in it as well as other languages.
Am I picking up bits and pieces, or is it just too difficult to follow
It's
along?
said a lot faster than you are used to.
Right. Yep.
It's like French.
Yeah.
So,
It's like when you're trying to learn a new language and someone goes full ball into
and they're both talking very excited.
Yep.
And
I'm
so,
with a paladin! Yay! Probably yeah.
and there's lots of gestures towards Josh. So Chevelle's getting and everyone's pointing and saying things.
Do I at least know the Yalari word for paladin yet? Because it's probably the thing that said the most.
Well, you probably do, but it could be many things because it could be Holy One, it could be oh my God, it could be my eyes.
Flaming ink with my
Oh
finger.
my eyes. Oh my paladin.
Chauvel in the night sky.
It's like that, you know, Spartans.
Yeah.
And after about a few minutes of talking, 5 of them head back, and the others just sit off to the side and wait.
Sit off to the side and wait.
Yep.
So
They're waiting for us to go?
I asked
They're gonna trouble us?
I asked Hassan, I'm like,
What's going
so
on?
I didn't catch any of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't speak civilized tongue like that. But he let me translate.
Yeah, okay.
Well, for them, that is their civilized tongue.
Yep. I know many languages, just not this one yet, apparently.
I'm sure you'll be educated soon enough. So what we've discussed is that no, we don't have a paladin in distress. Apparently, it's a common thing for paladins to put out a call to say, "Come, help me." They were unsure what this one actually meant because they just said paladin. But they erred on the side of caution and sent their fiercest warriors to come and deal with the threat.
Even though this paladin is in a dress.
Oh, she's in full plate, aren't you? Or did you have to take your full plate off? Oh, you're in Mistral, that's right.
Which means that sits underneath most clothing.
Yes.
I'm mithril chamber.
Yeah.
You still got to have armor.
Yeah, you still got like armor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were dressed quite impressively. And most of your stuff doesn't need to be changed for desert wear. The mithril does not heat hot. It's one of the few metals that does not heat.
Yes.
I had a question about that because I have, I think, a breastplate, but that's under my leather armor.
You'd have to take the breastplate off, unless it's designed to deal with hot temperatures. It heats up.
You're becoming a roast chicken.
Or at night it can be worse because it can leach the heat away from you.
Yeah, so I might have had to take that off. Which
Or if you just
doesn't-
wanted to continue casting, you just resist that.
Precision.
Injure elements would be the equivalent. You need something like that.
Yeah, because prestigitation I could do, but I'd have literally have to do like this the whole time to do that.
Yeah, basically you put casting cool on it every hour, so that's how long it lasts.
Yes, but only cools it a little bit. So instead of being burning hot, it'll just be singeing hot.
So that means my AC
Is a lot worse.
A lot worse.
Yep.
How much does my armor give me again? For presentation?
Well,
I
it
think
doesn't
it gives
affect
me
me
like
at all.
3.
And plus, everyone's wearing desert robes to get through the desert because most of you don't wear armor while you're doing that unless you have mithril armor.
Yeah. Well, still most of my stuff, other stuff apart from the breastplate, is leather, and that's under even under the cloak with the breastplate.
Other people don't, unless you're going into combat. It is hot, stuffy, and anything that makes you warmer.
Yeah. So I probably would have taken it off. Yeah.
It's just simple for them.
What my AC is now, because I think it adds like 3 or 4.
And so after another hour of a bit of humming from your watchful crowd, you see camels start to come into the light as the merchants seem to be all excited to meet a travelling paladin.
Yay.
A holy warrior is one of the superstars of their nation.
Next will probably be a dervish.
Well, if the dervish is a holy warrior, yes. If it's not a holy warrior, they're usually bandits.
Yay!
So you got the mix on that one?
Yeah.
So as you're see they appear to be preparing a tent for discussions. Because they,
Tent?
yeah.
Hmm.
So the head of the caravan.
Did
can,
they see me at all, or I just
But
stay
most of
low-key?
them have just look at you sidelong and don't actually try to interact with you.
I try to look friendly.
You smile.
No, I don't
Give-
smile
Okay,
with teeth.
give me a persuasion roll.
Right, so that's.
That's the D20.
What in my equipment?
11.
And do you have any bonuses to your persuasion?
I do.
Yes. Dragon key.
That's not persuasion.
Persuasion plus 6.
That's more intimidation. So you got a
11 plus 6, so 17.
So you got 17. Okay. You managed to look less intimidating to them. That they all, a few of them, sort of look in your direction,
I say hello.
puzzled. They sort of wave and
I
then
wave.
go back to waiting.
I sidle up and try to start a conversation.
Okay. They talk to you in a strange language.
Do they know any of the languages I know? I try.
They only know
They're
Yolari.
speaking their local language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I don't think any of us know.
I've got Alphasian, Theoden, Auran, Celestial, Draconic, Gnome, and Goblin, so none of those would be
they
close.
seem to not like it when you speak either Theaden or Alphakian.
Okay, so.
You had learned previously that those two nations had conquered this country
Okay. Yeah.
and been repelled
Well, I
by the
wouldn't have-
Yolari culture.
Wouldn't have tried those.
Did you do
And
that as
they-
a Garen?
They are
I
current,
thought I knew a bit of, but I don't have any more gifts. I thought I did.
and they have a interaction with. I think you might have learned it from Am one of the things we
Yeah.
haven't added it yet. So just write it on there for the moment.
Okay.
So that they
So-
currently have a military disagreement with the Theatans, and the Alphatians used to own this land.
The closest one I have is Ethengar, but even then they wouldn't be able to
They
understand
wouldn't
what I
understand
say.
anything, are
Not really.
I could just kind of settle down next to them. And listen
That's
to the
why
musical
that's why
language.
they're sort of just sitting and chanting amongst themselves.
Yeah, I'm just listening to the language.
Okay, and you see this big tent set up. A robed woman with headdress gestures your paladin forward, saying in a very smooth Ethengarian tone, please come in, that they're waiting for you. Do you need any of your other fellow travellers to be with you? She sort of looks at the polar bear and behind everyone else.
Ah!
and then this XP.
I would.
No, the animals can stay out.
Oh,
No,
she
you're
sort of looks at you.
fine, you're dragon, it's different.
You're not classed as an animal.
I didn't know. I've got 4 legs.
I'd say if anyone, it would be. I was gonna say Yodri, but
What, you're three staying out?
I can stick my head just under the tent flap so that I can hear.
There's enough
without-
room for everyone to go in.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
yeah, all the people,
It does
all
not
the
the-
people,
no,
not the
the-
animals.
The party members, not the riding, not the mountains, basically.
so
So the paladin sometimes confuses everyone for everyone.
I was
They
just
confuse everyone for everyone. I mean, the party members.
I was
I
just
knew what I
checking.
said.
Some paladins are touched by God. She said, please enter.
Yeah, he's a little bit too touched by his world, but that's fine.
Don't mess with them.
You sort of hear her chuckle a little bit at that. As you come in, you see that there are 2 men kneeling on the other side of what appears to be a tea service. And they gesture to the woman, and she asks, "Does any of you wish to have some tea?" These little dragons sit by the thing, and I will serve you personally. She nods to you, and she looks at. You refuse to see.
No, I shall
Oh,
not.
you shall not refuse. When there, I thought I shall refuse. It's like that
What?
seems odd.
No, we would all greatly appreciate Susie.
You notice that your guide is currently waiting outside.
Oh, did he not come in? Is he not allowed?
He does not presume.
He wasn't up.
Did we want a guide in as well? I didn't see
I
what
think
it
that's
was.
a good idea.
Yeah, we might. Can we bring our guide in?
He shall be invited in. She sit and I will go. Okay. After he's brought in, you notice he currently has a black eye. He didn't have one last time.
What happened?
He lost someone out.
And she
Running
just
your act big.
That's not what happened. Didn't have that 5 seconds ago.
It says nothing happened. Give me an insight
This
roll.
is our guide.
I detect the untruth here.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
Perception?
Insight.
10.
Okay. As far as you can tell, he's saying nothing happened.
Are we all
You can all roll for that.
Yeah. I got a 14, so I think he might have had a disagreement with
That's
the
insight.
guards or something like that.
Got insight.
Wrong family.
So that's 14.
14. Okay, so 3 of you do think he's holding something back and not actually saying something. And Josh, you probably pick up he's not wanting to offend the host in any way.
Yeah, because actually, well, the thing is, yeah, if he actually mentioned it,
Look, we can ask him again later.
We'll discuss that.
Okay. So, the woman says that the caravan masters asked if you have any need of their services while you're on your mission, Holy Warrior.
Do we need any services as far as I'm aware?
Well, information's a source.
So what are we trying? We're trying to look for lamps.
So
no. The main thing is trying to find out about these cultists. The lamps were a side project.
yeah, the labs are a side project. So our main goals is finding the ruins and investigating the
That's
new
right.
ruins, which also happen to have a new cult associated with said new ruins. And our excuse for getting the pass to get through.
Hunting, that's right.
Yeah. The excuse for getting through. So essentially, we're just trying to find out information about the land. So what have they come across?
So-
That kind of thing.
We just need any kind of surveillance of the area that wasn't going on at this stage.
Okay, I shall ask the master. So she turns and talks to the guy who seems to be the head guy sitting here. Says a few things while she's busily preparing the tea service. And she serves the you first. And the dragon second.
Thank you.
And then everyone else after that. And she says that after she gets a response from him, give me an insight roll.
All of us?
The paladin specifically.
Ooh. I'm not going to reroll
Okay. We do have a couple left.
that.
Why 11 points?
How much? 13. Okay. From what you've heard of how they treat women in this country, they seem to be treating the person serving you with a lot more respect than you've heard.
That's right, 'cause they don't like women. I confuse
Yeah,
everyone
And she's been talking to you directly. Again, something that when you're in town, most of the women didn't talk to you directly while men were around.
She was speaking for Ethengar. Can I do an insight roll into like potentially her heritage, I guess?
Sure.
It could also be the caravan's wife.
23.
23. She does not have any Ethengarian heritage in her. She looks more like what you've heard of one of the Elysian people who are more of the ruling class of the nation. and she speaks it almost better than you do.
Okay.
And
So she speaks like sort of formal or just
very, very precise, very direct. Pretty much what most of the nobility of the Ethengarian use in their tones and addresses.
So diplomat.
So she would quite easily be able to sit on one of the Ethengarian councils and run it. She has that level of tone in her voice.
Did we catch her name?
She never gave her name. Most women don't give their names.
That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure we did.
Okay. And she's only referred to like master of the caravan and things like that. And she's not asked your names. Which is also something you find unusual, because in a lot of places everyone's asking who you are and what you're doing. They've only asked, how can we help you?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had
How can we help you, Paul?
yeah, how can you help me paladin? Because you're paladin. It kind of supersedes the fact that you're a woman.
And so she then
also worshipping the wrong god in the area, because these guys were all water, weren't they?
they mainly follow a water god, but they do worship the gods of all elements. So their favoured god is called Al Kalim, who preaches of turning the desert back into a oasis, which most people are following. Basically as the core of their faith. And so she says that over the last fortnight of travel, they have seen signs that most of the dragons that were in the desert have gone. Normally there would be many signs of the young playing in the deserts at night. Signs of lightning, ice, other forms of strange, unusual fires and screams in the night. But it's been quiet for nearly 2 years now.
And that was with our knowledge of other dragons disappearing, sort of sounds quite common.
Let's just bring back what here. That's what I said. That's the piece.
Just what place that works.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so yes, they say that the dragons have gone. And now we have stories of giants on our borders. Southern border has many hill giants. North border has many rock giants.
Sorry, southern border has
Hill giants.
hill giants
Yeah, that's all.
and rock giants on the northern.
Yeah.
So we saw a whole hill giants on the Death Valley side, is it? Yeah.
The one the Darkins called Death Valley.
Yeah, the one that Darwin's. What do they call it here?
They have a section of the desert they call the Valley of Death.
Yes, and that's what we're traveling to essentially.
And that's basically north of where you are right now.
Yeah. So it's very
And that was where most of the dragons were found.
dead or alive?
No, they're the reason why it's the Valley of Death.
Oh,
You
right.
go there when you want to die.
Yeah, right. So the dragons in the last 2 years have gone missing, matching the timeline of all of them, so we know.
And bandit raids have been increasing, so our caravans are getting larger and larger. Though we have weapons and armor for sale if you need a resupply.
I probably don't have. Well, if I've just got my leathers on me, then I probably don't actually have my proper armor. Because I have leather armor, but that would probably be back home in Commander because I swapped to my breastplate.
You probably could have carried it with you,
Probably, okay.
knowing where you were going.
Okay.
I assumed you carried all your items with you through entry.
I think we left coins and stuff. But yeah. Okay, no, that's fine.
Okay. So, do you have any needs of simple weapons? Resupply of arrows per se. I see you have a bow. She says.
Probably.
you need weapons, little one?
Can I ask if they got any coffee?
We do have coffee, but we rarely have it overnight. We normally have it of a morning to.
Well, that's when I would traditionally drink.
Well, that's okay. We can stay here for the night and give you some coffee before we.
But that would crimp our travel time, wouldn't it?
It would, but I think we're probably spending most of the night discussing with them anyway. So, I mean, I'm presumably.
They're happy
Well,
to discuss.
provided the rest of the party's okay with that, I enthusiastically accept.
And she'll arrange for coffee to be prepared after our discussions. It will take her a few hours to get it ready.
I tell her, through Asan, I presume, that I've been collecting different coffee beans and ask her if she wants to try any of those ones for herself.
No, her family has a special blend.
You could also buy some there, so you add to your collection.
Would it be alright to buy some of yours to add to my collection?
She will be honored. Once she gets the permission from the caravan master, she says.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so they've also had rumors of halfling worshipping cultists in some of the dead regions that the dragons used to own.
Now that fucks our interest.
Are these people worshipping halflings or halfling heretics?
She's not quite sure.
Yeah.
Things have not been clear. Cultists are strange things.
Yes. And is this to the west?
This is to the north.
Which is where we're heading. But we don't really know.
You've been skirting along the edge of it to get into a safer part of it.
So we're going to the west.
You are heading east towards their capital, following their trail route. So you have to travel through the safest part before you head into where you wanted to go.
We're kind of almost doing like a dog leg, like we're doing.
I haven't heard of any crazy halflings decided to set up in the desert. So.
You've never heard of a crazy halfling society in the desert.
But we already have our first clues. We knew there was cultists, but we didn't know what they were doing. We now know that the rumor is that they're halflings, so that's something.
Well, they could be halflings, or they are worshipping halflings.
But at least that's something. We have a bit more information now anyway, so.
Yes, okay. Well, we know now that they're insane.
And what is the rumors about what they've been doing?
That they've not been clear about because no one's ever gotten a straight answer out of one of the cultists.
So people have come across the cultists?
Yes, but you might also realize that the people here are very religious, and someone preaching an alternate religion does not go down very well.
Yeah,
I'm sure your paladin would be well aware of that. Trying to convert people to a different religion, even if they strongly believe about it, would be even a death sentence for a paladin.
Sorry, Mum, I'm just reading up on that books.
Yep.
I'm just going to advance to 4th level.
Yep.
This is ability score improvement, ability increases.
Yep.
Charisma?
I put it on charisma for you. I'm not sure if you had done it or not, and when I looked at what we'd done notes for you, you'd skipped that completely. And so I think 4th level for you hadn't been completed properly, and we hadn't gone through and done the updates. So now you should, if you go scroll down to the completed examples, you have level 6 all fully fleshed out for you with all the details. So I thought I'd make it easy for you.
Oh, yep, good.
So you might also want to look at the magical items above. So we'll have to add more from what we've gotten later, but I was trying to say here's the whole character and how it was put together in case there's any issues that crop up, and we can then tweak it and make it better. Okay. And as I'd help put it together, I wanted to make sure it was correct. Okay, so she does say that she doesn't know much about what's happening, just that they've been surfacing since the dragons disappeared.
And they're only just starting to make waves, really.
They're more of a nuisance than anything else, but it's gotten people's attention. Because a proven heretic is a worthy bounty for some of those Puritans of their culture.
Yeah.
So how do they identify if they're a heretic?
They get a statement from that person or a witness who states that they are under oath someone who tries to convert others to another belief. That's their form of heretic. They don't care what personal belief you have, but the moment you try to convert someone to another belief system, you're then branded heretic.
Okay. And this is in front of an unholy person?
And it's normally done in front of one of their priests.
Because she probably would have noticed that, because on my belt I've got my arrow bow, I've got my skull and my cleric magic as well.
I was going through like gnomes with their bloody judicial system.
No, but
knowing judicial systems of other countries is probably less advantageous.
But she's probably noticed, not only has she noticed my bow and arrow, she's noticed, without saying that, she knows I'm a cleric as well.
So if I interpret that correctly, these halflings aren't necessarily cultists or bad people. They're simply people trying to convert people of one belief to their belief and are therefore heretics. Is that correct?
That is their interpretation.
That's their interpretation. So the cultists that we're encountering may not be bad people. They might just simply believe in a moon god and trying to convert sun god believers to the moon god.
Which is completely illegal.
Is that right?
Yes, that would roughly be correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And for their judicial system, that is a capital crime.
I just wanted to make sure I understood it.
As is using fire magic.
Fire magic. So is the paladin?
Even if the paladin uses fire magic, that is unfortunately a crime that supersedes being a paladin.
But is the fire genazi's powers considered fire magic?
If used in public, yes.
Oh, so even though you're revered, you can't use your powers.
I can't use fire magic.
Public.
Oh,
I can still
okay.
use paladin magic.
Oh,
Can't use
okay.
fire.
Alright.
It's the blatant use of fire magic in a public place.
Because they worship the Lord of
Because of their cultural belief system that fire magic destroyed the desert.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
So if people then reuse the magic that destroyed the desert, they are then branded an evil mage. And it's very hard even for a paladin to escape such a branding.
Did fire magic destroy this area?
Fire magic is their belief that it destroyed this area.
So apart from the heretics trying to convert to their religion, have they done other things like the fire magic and other things that
No.
we know of?
She will ask the elders and see what they can say. So she talks to them again for a little while. And while she's doing so, she seems to be preparing a few meals for people. At first offers the paladin a dish. Seems quite spicy. And then the dragon gets to the next offering.
I like it.
You get a nice spicy meal as well.
Okay.
You haven't really had much spicy stuff,
Is it
but it does
spicy
make
or
but
just
it does
spicy?
make your tongue numb for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
But a happy numb, not a I'm in pain
Can
numb.
they give
God,
me
God,
any
God.
yogurt?
They do have some for later, but they like to build little bonfires in their stomachs. And everyone else also gets a meal as well. You do notice that she doesn't seem to eat the whole time, or drink during it all.
So she's high class enough to be the go-between between these elves in the caravan and travellers like us.
obviously a servant.
Still,
so
still diplomatic enough to not like eat very
So basically, she's just a diplomat, and that's what she is.
Yeah.
Okay. And after talking to them for a little bit, I prepared the meals. She says, the elders do not know of any other encounters with the cultists or what they might be doing. Just that as soon as heretic is branded, paladins don't show up. And you generally don't challenge a paladin and their quest because their cultural belief is a paladin on a quest is more important than who they are or what they're doing. So paladins are generally seeing if they need assistance and then let on their way.
So in terms of the runes that we're trying to find, have they come across any?
Not along the caravan route, but they do say that there are many ruins in Death Valley where the dragons lived. Or
Death
lived.
Valley sounds.
Or the Valley of Death.
Well,
That's
no, we
actually-
already knew we're heading into Death
That's
Valley.
right.
We already knew that's where we've been heading. We've just been on the caravan routes to get
The
there.
halfling heretics or the worshipping halfling, whatever they are. Are they cause enough ruckus to be classed as, well, basically the church to do jihad on them?
The church rarely calls a problem. It's normally a paladin is called, and a paladin goes off and serves.
So as far as we know, these halflings have just they're trying to convert people, and they do use fire magic. Is that correct?
Well, it's unsure whether it's halflings or people who worship halflings.
Okay. But the cultists, these are like aside from the fire magic and like conversion, is there anything else that they're doing that's?
Well, they're not doing fire. We don't know if they're doing fire.
Oh, we
They-
don't know about the fire
Fire,
magic.
fire magic is another taboo here.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
She doesn't know much about who they are, what they're doing, because they don't trade in cultists. They
Yeah.
trade in weapons.
Okay, fair enough. That's
I guess I asked them what weapons they have for
Okay.
trade at the moment.
At the moment, we have a good supply of spears, arrows, shields, daggers, armor. They do also have quite a few slings and shots to go with it, because in the desert, knocking something is as good as piercing it.
Can I use a sling?
Technically, but you've got to just get skilled with it. Because as a dragon, you don't generally use
No,
weapons.
yeah, I
You've
was
never been
uncertain
trained how to
about
use
that.
them.
Yeah, that's why I was just curious. I don't actually want a sling. I'm just like, can I even use one?
You can use weapons, you just have to dedicate time.
Okay.
Like,
So,
I reckon it'd
how-
probably be more useful if you learn to use the wand of magic missiles from the M16.
How would the sling? So in terms of what I can use it with the bow, is it the same classing as that, or?
well, it's a dexterity ranged attack
Yeah.
using ammunition that does bludgeoning damage.
So which do you recommend for fighting things in the desert, using the sling over a bow, or?
She says
Sandy
a
desert,
bow. It is a sandy, and it's also going to be a rocky desert soon as well. She recommends the bow is good for something you want to pierce, but a sling is good for something you want to bludgeon. Because if whatever you're doing has resistance to your piercing, you're pretty much stuck.
I might.
Less rocks.
Probably. I might pick up one of the slings and some ammo for that.
Okay, so
Actually, that's
you also have
Because,
other things available. So
most
more-
weapons have been seen.
Well, yeah, I've got slashing. So I have 2 daggers. I have the bow, and I have my magic. But hey, it doesn't hurt to be prepared.
Okay, so
I actually have a short sword as well. It's pretty cool.
So a sling, she says, with a set of stones. So it'll come with 20 stones. Shots will set you back a silver piece, she says, which is a fair market price.
Yep.
And she says she will have one of those get brought to you after the meal.
Do you have ones that are that you've got got silver bullets?
We do not have any silver bullets because we don't deal with many creatures resistant to normal weapons.
But you could always make some plate for it. How many stones come with the ammunition?
20.
20? And it's a silver piece for that whole package.
For the whole package, yes. They also have, they do sell bowler, which are used to trap people and entangle them. So if you want to capture an escaping person, it's generally a safe way of catching them. Their hunters usually do that if they're trying to prove that someone is a heretic, because killing someone without proof is a crime.
Yeah, that's what.
And how do you spell that?
The bowler,
Mhm.
B-O-L-A.
Oh, B-O-L.
And that will set you back 5 gold for that.
Okay. I'll grab
So gold in this.
that.
Other simple things they have is they do have lassos, which they've set up.
I think I already have a lasso.
A lot of people do, but not everyone does. So lasso gives you the ability to capture one or more people and reduce their threats. So very simple weapon, can be made from rope, but their ones have been treated to make it a little easier to use. Not everyone knows how to treat rope to make it a lasso, she says. But someone with your heritage should at least have practice.
Well, I'm proficient with it, so that's up from just being skilled, isn't it?
No, skill. Proficient is the lowest level before
Oh, is it?
non-proficient. Non-proficient means that you're not very good with it.
Should that be skilled then?
Skilled beats proficient, and then expert on top of skilled, master on top of
Yeah, because I'm expert in my long and short bow, and expert in the daggers, but maybe I didn't update the lasso to be skilled?
You might not have, it just might still be proficient.
I can talk to you about it. I also, because I have that short sword that I got from Virtue as well. I'm not going to go say that out loud very often, especially not in this crowd. But yeah, I'll pick up the sling and the
They also have little sickles, which are variant on the local dagger. Which is not actually a dagger, it does different things. You can actually learn to throw the sickles. Not that many people do.
Well, I have my razor dagger and just another normal dagger, so I think
they also have scimitars, the weapon of choice of most of their soldiers and mercenary guards.
Yeah.
Because versatile weapon. And they do have various pole arms available, but most people want especially polished pole arms. And they do have the martial shields too, which are shields that are also weapons.
I think I'm right with the bowler and the sling ammo.
Do you want to upgrade your shield?
Well, actually, what
Oh, wait a second. No, your shield's got your symbol on it.
yeah.
So basically you have to go. You're suckered in. So you're basically you can buy your armor as your church.
Do they have? So I'm presumably wearing my leather armor. Do they have anything better available than the leather armor for desert wear? Or?
They do. I will figure out the book.
Yes, it's called padded armor.
Well, no. I also got to be careful because there's strength requirements for some of the heavier stuff.
It's called hiding in the sand.
That's why I went with breastplate, because that doesn't have a disadvantage on stealth and doesn't have a strength requirement. So if they have something that's a little bit of
So in other
extra
words,
armor.
we need to look for another set of dwarven gauntlets of ogre string, or you need a belt of what's the belt?
They do have hide armor that is that basically it's one of the best armors you can get that's not made out of special material, and most of it is treated to deal with desert wear. Unlike leather armor, it doesn't cling to the skin, and generally you deal with the desert wear a lot better. You also wear robes over the top, which then give you more insulation between you and the sun.
We've got the robes we bought that in the city, but I would have had to have changed because I think the only other armor I had was just leather armor.
So their version of the hide armor is very thick hide. And they basically don't sell any metal armor.
Yeah, no, I have just standard leather armor.
So hide would basically be 12 plus dex modifier with a cap of 2.
Yes. And leather's
So-
11 plus dex.
And leather is 11 plus dex with no cap.
Yeah. But I only have dex plus 2 anyway,
So yes, medium armor works well for you.
yeah. Yeah, I'd
Are
pick
you
up.
trained with medium armor though?
I should be. I think I'm trained in. No, I'm trained in all.
You got the war cleric?
Light, medium, heavy.
Yep. Then yes, for you that is good. And do you have a shield?
I do not have a shield. I'm trained to use shields, but I don't have a shield.
Because the hide and the shield together will cost you 20 gold.
The only problem and the reason why I haven't used the shields before is because that takes up one of your arm slots, isn't it?
It does basically take up an arm, but you can drop it. You can do other things like that.
But that doesn't add to your base DC unless you.
It does.
Oh, it does?
In Pathfinder it doesn't unless you raise it. In D&D it does. So there are differences between the two. And you can have like a different type of shield, such as the Tusk Shield, the Sword Shield, the Knife Shield, or the Horn Shield, which will give you additional attacks on your turn.
Just remember, if you use it, your bow, you shield will back.
Yeah, and that's partly why I hadn't picked a shield up before, but I guess
Because that would basically, with your armor class, would go up to 16 with the shield.
which is what it was with the breastplate.
And you can travel through a desert with hide.
Yeah. Alright.
But you see that most of the mercenaries are wearing the hide and the shield.
Okay.
Did you want a improved shield or just a basic shield?
What is the improved shields are the ones
Well,
you were talking about?
I
or-
will bring them up on here for you because I have, where are my shields? So I'll go 1, 2, knife shield, shield. So first one is the sword shield.
Mm.
Sort of sticks out like that, meaning that you can actually get in some differences with it while you do stuff.
Mhm.
It can be treated as a weapon. Then you have the Tusk Shield, which basically they are designed to be used in combat. The Tusk Shield, which is also something you can use for combat. Then you have the Knife Shield, which is basically has a blade coming out the end of it.
Does that take the knife proficiencies?
No, it takes the
But
shield.
that shield's a little bit smaller than a normal one, isn't it?
No, it's basically and the blade is like that. It's because it's a stabbing weapon instead of a parrying sort of weapon.
I see. Would you like a drink or some food?
I would love some drink and some food.
What sort of drink do you want?
Give me a new one,
A
okay?
fresh one? Do you want more than that?
You should do. And then the last one is the Horn Shield, which is like the Sword Shield, but they all have risks of breakage if you quickly fumble while using them for attack or parry.
Yeah.
I don't think they have anything really good for me at this point in time. So.
I might just go with the basic shield because I'm not used to normally carrying a shield.
That's okay.
And-
That one is the nicest looking one.
Just think the first and the last one would be annoying to carry on your back.
Yeah. I mean, I could go with the sword one. how is that different to the standard one, I guess?
Okay, so the main thing is the sword shield is another 200 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And you will start with if you're non-proficient, it's just awkward and has a chance of breaking,
Mm-hmm.
and you can basically use it as an attack.
I should
If
be
you-
proficient because I have shields, so weapon and armor.
Do you have all martial weapons?
I have simple weapons.
It's a martial weapon, so you'd then have to learn about their martial weapons. So
I had simple and martial, but that's when I was a ranger.
which hurts.
Yeah.
But the paladin does, so it does have the ability to give you extra attacks and better defense.
So the simple shield is or the basic shield is
It's
it
just
simple?
it's just +2 to your defense.
As nice as those other shields are, because I don't have the martial, that probably will be a problem for me in terms of use. And then I'm not used to using shields anyway, so yeah. I'll just go with the simple shield and hide. So is it just the same as like normal hide in the book? Yeah. Okay.
It's just that it's made out of more solid strips of leather than just hide and hair.
Yeah, but it's your alarm version basically. Hide and signature. Correct?
Hide and shield, yes.
Yeah.
There's only one type of shield in this version.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just defining the difference because I was very
So the other ones are named as special types of shields.
Right, okay. And you said that was 20 gold?
20 gold for all of it.
Okay, that should be this. And I don't have to change my AC then? Because even 16 is a problem for me, but that's better than 12.
12 is, please hit me.
Yeah, pretty much. Please let me die again. Well, actually, I think it's 13 because like both decks are +2 with my level, but yeah.
So, I will have to note for Josh that with his flaming horse, his hit points will be reduced by 7 to represent the fact that he's summoned a flaming horse.
Also, it's me.
Which means Judry would also have his hit points reduced by 7
Okay.
for the water horse. Because you created the water horse, so your hit point maximum is reduced by 7 permanently. You cannot use any magic to get that back.
The price of having fancy animals. I mean, I have fancy animals, but they were acquired differently. not through magical means. Let's just say that.
Well, when you use the secret crafts to get stuff, it always comes with a price.
Yeah.
Okay, go to spend 1 level becoming a barbarian.
Multi-class into barbarian just to get hit points. That seems a bit.
Well, we've got a barbarian princess.
Well, you'd only get 7 hit points back from that, plus your modifier.
I take them for their traits.
Yep. She speaks to the head guy, and he bows in your direction.
Is it polite to bow back, or is it just?
You don't really know the culture that well. You can ask,
I.
or you can make a
Knowledge roll?
Knowledge, religion.
I'll make an
or-
insight roll.
Or just insight.
Okay. What to do in this country?
Yeah, I might reroll that.
Okay.
20 all up
On cultures.
cultures in the city.
Okay, so from what you remember and seen and how you've seen stuff, it is you've been given a very respectful reception from these people as they've treated you as the superiors in the conversation.
13.
13. You get a very similar sort of thing, not as detailed, but that they have been very deferential towards you.
Yeah. I guess I might just ask the translator, is it polite for me to
it would be seen as an honour if the paladin was the first one to return the thing as the head of your group.
Okay. I say, wow, please.
So what are we expected to do in return? Are we supposed to represent the group?
Well, you have given them your time and accepted their hospitality.
Yeah.
And
trade.
And because you're not really too sure about how paladins do stuff in this nation, because you've not had a lot of experience with paladins.
No, not with the paladin side.
The thing from the Harpin perspective, the paladin has completely skewed how this would have worked from everything you've known.
Okay, fair enough.
You would have been treated as outsiders, strangers, and very lukewarm. They would not have shared much with you, and would have demanded lots of payment.
Dinner, essentially.
So-
I'm only getting coffee in the morning.
So we're now looking up at the paladin, well I am, and seeing what the paladin's going to do.
Paladin's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thank him for the hospitality.
Okay.
And what's the paladin's vow?
I bow to
Okay. So she thanks you, Grace. Thanks you with grace, and says that if you wish to remain here and use one of their tents, they will set it up for the coming day and provide protection over the day while they rest for the night. Having met such an illustrious person, we're sure that you don't really travel during the day, as you're also traveling at night, and that will give us time to prepare the coffee for your and any of the rest of you who wish to partake. Give me an insight roll.
Inside roll.
10.
do I have to do
You
this?
can if you like.
I'm not rolling very well inside there.
What was this one?
When she was having the conversation with you at the end.
15 plus 6, 21.
That's a very insightful
I
roll.
wasn't paying attention.
Neither was I.
I got it.
I was
Okay.
too busy bowing.
So while everyone else is busy accepting her compliments, the dragon does notice she doesn't actually ask for permission for half the stuff she's been saying, and she's actually been the two guys at the back are very deferential towards her.
Okay. Does that mean anything to me, or should I just tell Zal about it later?
Do you think she's in charge?
You think she's in charge?
I had an inkling outside of the game of that before because of how the mannerisms were.
But from a cultural perspective, she's not allowed to be in charge.
Yeah. So she's in charge, but she's
She's
not
a
being in
puppet
charge.
master.
She's got token chiefs that
Probably family and respect the fact that she has skills.
yeah.
And will play the part so she gets to help them make more money.
I think Zal's probably like she probably has a bigger role than I think, only for the fact that she speaks pretty much flawless Ethengar, but I can't get much more out of that because my inside role is being horrible.
Well, after we go into the
you're being
tent,
too
I'll
differential
tell
at the
you.
time.
Yeah.
And so and you find that they in your time you've been in there, they've actually set up something big enough for you to put all your animals in and rest for the day under a cover of sand.
Wow.
Normally, you sort of pretty much have to convince them to lie down and stuff. And you all lie down in thin tents. Now you've got something that you can actually stand up in.
Yeah, because we only bought the basic necessities that are through the build, really. But
Okay.
but they're a traveling caravan, so it's kind of not a surprise that they have big selves.
So, for that rest of the for a few hours of the night left over, you're left to your own devices. What do you wish to do?
I let you know what I picked up that other people didn't pick up. Is Hassan with us?
He currently not with you.
Why is he not with us?
He didn't leave the tent.
Well, I want to know where Hassan is and I want him back.
He's
for Hassan.
I would leave him because clearly there's some
I
political problem.
Want my guide with us. I think that's a good idea. I don't want him hurt anymore.
got a big fat bruise on his eye. I don't want him to get any more bruises. Otherwise, he won't be any good to us as a guide.
He probably won't be injured more for their fear wrath of a paladin.
I've got a sneaky suspicion that he might have insulted the caravan if he actually found out who was in charge.
Yeah.
Because of their
Beliefs. I would say he's already earned his scorn, and he's probably.
You don't think we should protect him?
I don't think we know enough about the culture to interfere with that.
I don't know, because I may not know enough about a culture, but if I see someone throwing a rock at a woman in a public street, I'm going to stop them.
Yeah, but
Even if that's going to get me in a shitload of trouble.
I don't know. I could do another insight roll, but this is probably going to end badly.
Correct.
Is it possible to...
Oh no, actually roll well on that one, surprisingly. 19.
Like, I don't want to start a conflict, but is there a way to just find out if he's safe?
Oh, sorry.
From what you've seen of how they refer to him, they basically treat him like a criminal.
maybe.
Could we just... Is there any way to find out if we could just... Like, he's our guide, why wouldn't we have him with us?
We also don't want to offend our hosts.
No.
Who have been very gracious to us.
I get that, but can he at least sleep out next to our tent or something?
He probably has been put in an area with like the soldiers are, because they wouldn't have such a robust.
Is it going to hurt to find out where he is and make sure he's okay?
Do you actually have any distinguishing marks to symbolise that he's actually a criminal as such? Since I am
Give me an insight check.
Since I am in the
What was the
similar
result?
lines.
What was
Do you
it?
know what the result of Annie's insight check was?
I did tell her she thinks you had they considered him some sort of criminal.
That's a
right.
12.
2-second memory.
That was a 12?
Yeah.
Nothing that you saw distinctive of it, but you also know he's one of few guys who've come back from the Valley of Death, which is also what you've heard not a place people go because the dragons have claimed it.
Yeah.
Shadal, do you have an opinion here?
He's getting his character updated.
Yes.
Sorry.
Which is funny because I now know what it looks like.
You now know what?
Yes.
What?
I left it up to him if he was going to tell people.
What?
I mean, I could look up the page myself.
What?
And
You
just
could.
know it as a
He's got
person.
he's got an ability he didn't know he had earlier.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I haven't even gotten there yet.
Did we just find out what the ability was and I missed it? Or was that
He just
still-
found out he hasn't told people.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
haven't told anyone.
Okay, alright, sorry. I just thought maybe I hadn't picked
Other
up on
than it
something.
has the ability to channel his god in a small area that's like a tactical nuke.
yeah.
Oh, that is on level 6. Ah, I got it now.
Yeah. Tactical nuke, go. Given the fact that he didn't get killed outright, I would say he's alive and we'll see him tomorrow morning. And he may or may not have another black eye. I doubt it, because he's already received that as punishment. And if they were going to punish the paladin's guide anymore, they would probably be asking the paladin to do
No,
it.
the paladin's back. The paladin's going to discuss the mysterious black eye that happened in the 30 seconds of...
So who did you discuss that with?
I want to know...
So far you've only met two people in the caravan who can speak to the rest of the caravan, and one of them is the guide and one of them is the servant in the tent.
Yes,
The
the
nose
leader. I'm going to have a chat with her before everyone goes.
Yep.
What's going on?
She'd probably find it amusing that the leader of this party happens to
Well, she says, unfortunately, your guide has committed a few infractions to this caravan in the past,
Oh.
Okay.
and we've told him that we won't hold it against him if he helps you return to civilization. If he doesn't,
Him a good incentive.
if he doesn't, then we shall hunt him down and his associates, and they will find out what bandits in the desert get dealt with in civilization.
Fair.
That
Do you
does
mind me
sound-
digging into what infractions he's done?
He was part of some of the bandit raiders.
Oh.
Probably why he knows the desert quite well. And one of the few people who've come back from the.
Would he? Naive child would have no clue. You know, I just know that he's been injured.
I'm noting this down as the reason wants to. Our guy wants to
So-
do something funny down the lines.
As far as she's concerned, all the people who've come from the Valley of Death, generally bandits, thieves,
Yeah.
tome robbers, or people who are dealing in what their country refers to as illegal and dangerous magic.
Yeah.
So part of the reason they've not done much to him is you also have a dragon with you, which is probably the only reason that you may make it out alive of the Valley of Death,
Yeah.
even though it's a different type of dragon than what lives there.
Still right.
I know I'm not with him, but I'd do jazz wings right now
But-
if I was.
But she does warn you that most of the civilization will attack first and ask questions later, even if you are repelled.
It's good to know.
Very much
Because nothing good has ever come out of the Valley of Death. Which is why all the cultists there are suspicious.
Well, hopefully we're going to be dealing with the cultists in the Valley of Death.
We're investigating.
And
Yeah, we'll deal with them.
none of the paladin orders of this nation are permitted to enter the Valley of Death.
We're not allowed to.
The paladin orders of this nation are not permitted to enter
So
the Valley of Death.
you're not of this nation, so.
Oh, okay, I'm not
you're-
So that's
Okay.
probably the reason why they're probably also interested, because we're going to be telling them what's in there.
We're
They're
gonna
not
be
allowed to know what's in there. That's part of the restrictions.
But we might solve some of their
What
problems.
happens in there is considered
What happens in the Valley of Death
illegal
stays in
knowledge.
the Valley of Death. It's usually death.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens if it's actually something that they really need to know and really need to do something about?
They've got laws that say whatever happens in there cannot be taken from them.
What if it's dangerous to the nation? Like, what if there's a nuclear bomb in there and they really need to know?
No, there's a nuclear bomb.
I'm just asking out of game.
There's a nuclear bomb walking.
From their perspective, it might be what actually turned the nation into a desert in the first place, and they don't want it taken elsewhere.
And we've been sent to investigate, so we don't need to solve it. If we do end up solving even a slight bit of it, that's probably better than most people have done in the last
2 years.
400 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Might even be longer than 400 years.
Yeah. I just know it's a long time. Because there was something that was mentioned about the desert and Oasis.
Having spoken to her, she might have given you a better time frame because she has a little more knowledge.
Yeah, right.
Let's see.
Because I think we're speaking with Hassan or Jesus, and how they're saying about the desert.
You have noticed that they don't have the same level of knowledge she seems to.
Yep.
So in the next couple of hours,
Okay, so basically the desert dates back around 2,000 years was when it happened. And it relates to fire magic. They also blame the fire god at the same time. So there is anyone who worships the fire, flame, the sun is seen with suspicion in this land.
So you're a suspicious paladin.
basically overruling everything.
As long as she's not using fire magic,
Yeah.
she is fine as just being a paladin, and they'll overlook the rest of the inconsistencies.
the fact that she has an emblazoned sun motif on probably everything she owns. They know which god she worships. Let's just say that.
And the sun is different to fire.
But
Whereas if you had a symbol of a blazing torch, that would be completely different.
Yeah, but essentially they're probably like, yeah, you do use fire magic, but we'll
You just don't use it here.
Just don't use it here. Yeah.
Whereas if you had a wizard in robes and fire motifs on the robe, even if it was the sun, it would be like,
Yeah.
your infraction has been committed by being here.
Yeah.
I think I think the same way. Okay.
So
And she says that your guide will be released in the night. He's just currently under guard.
Fair enough. And there's pretty much what's all anyway. But
yeah, he's under protective custody.
Something with a bruise. My instinct is not to think that they're a bad person, but to think something bad happened to them.
Everyone has shades of grey and a background. Not everyone is a saint. And he may have changed his ways.
Yeah. He is a guy that we have paid
Exactly.
money to. We don't know his history.
Exactly.
And given that he came in with a black eye and was very cagey about not telling us, there's not a surprise that.
And hey, if he had have admitted it, then technically he's admitted a crime in front of the paladin and his life is forfeit. Because the paladins are the judge, jury, and executioner of this land.
Yep.
So we've got a bit of downtime.
Mhm.
A couple hours.
You got a couple of hours to rest.
A couple hours to rest.
I'd say rest, because
Sure. Sounds like we're resting.
otherwise we're gonna probably be fatigued because we've been talking all night. What?
Just tossing my dice around apparently.
Oh,
made
but
me
you're stand roll. You did movement, yay!
It's the feeling the impacts and going, you must have stood up.
Yeah, apparently.
It's the same impacts as when you stand up, so you must have stood up.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Okay, so the day passes rather calmly. It's the most comfortable you've been since you've been in the region. They seem to have some sort of cooling element in their tents. So it is nice and relaxing, as if you've had a cool breeze on you all night.
Is anyone we can ask about that?
It's probably
That's-
a spirit or
Yeah,
of some
probably
sort.
just doesn't need investigating in terms of that.
Well, I just meant
All
it'd be nice to have one.
all their magic
I
is
mean-
designed around deserts.
It's
Yeah.
probably
That's
way
a lot.
outside what we can
Do.
one, afford and to do.
Fair enough.
Okay, so when the sun starts to set, you're greeted again by the hostess and asks if you need anything else before you leave. They've prepared a canister of coffee for your dragon.
I thank them, not profusely, but with appreciation.
The dragon's very excited.
Was
Basically,
there
the
a
dragon's like,
decision
"Ooh,
about whether or not I could buy some other things?
They give you a small bag of beans. It has a symbol of a scroll with a ibis above it.
An ibis?
And she says this represents it comes from some of my family's plantations near the coast.
I thank her and I ask her what would be an appropriate payment or something, a way of trade.
She thinks and says, if in your travels you come across different types of coffees, if you could bring some to her family, she would find that a very good trade.
So where
An
did
investment
she
in the
say her
future.
family was
She says her family has are mainly based out of Yalarum City.
I would do that. I just need to know how to find her or her family.
And she gives you the family name to follow up on, which I'll give you later.
Where's the Oh, no, we remember that.
Well, she has her coffee in her
Just
bag
like-
of Infinite City, but
I have coffees, but I will add to that collection so that I can give her a few different times.
Okay, so the soul burns in.
Maximum hit points. So it reduces your maximum. You can gain it back, but not when you've got the loss. But it does give you a powerful horse. And you've got a paladin special mount, because you've decided to summon this paladin special mount with the soul burn.
Yeah, I just didn't know what the soul burn was.
That's all good. That's why I was going through making notes and cleaning things up.
Yeah, because I can remember I could summon it. See the soul. It costs one soul point.
Per level.
That's fine.
So every time you gain a level, it takes one of the hit points you get for that level.
Okay, so it makes the amount, it becomes basically the same hit dice as me.
It basically takes one of your hit points every level.
I think that
It doesn't increase its hit dice, it takes one of your hit points of every level. I'm cleaning up the wording.
Oh, okay.
I think there is this for
Yep.
the generosity for the
She says your guide will be released shortly, once we've finished packing up and secured all their gear.
if you want, Max, we could probably be very helpful in that regard. He loves to lure people.
Well, I can be helpful in that regard.
Yeah, but
I now know.
You're also talking to her, and
Well, I'm going to make sure that his word is now worth something.
yeah,
But
but
associating with a paladin is enough to potentially redeem him from the gutter.
Okay, so I have hit first and second.
So once they've all packed up.
Once they're all packed up, and as they get to leave, you see that they bring over your guide and then unshackle him.
Good stuff.
He sort of rubs his
So
bruised wrists.
So I talked to him. So here's the ultimatum that you've been given.
He shrugs and says it could be worse.
Could be worse. So don't fail us.
I don't intend to.
Good stuff.
well, we kind of paid him to get us out of the desert in the first
Whoa,
place.
yeah. Thing is,
Well, now he's got more of an incentive.
Yes.
Don't have to pay him more to get us out.
But he said that was why we were following the caravan trail to get as close as possible to where you wanted. Otherwise, you risk bandits and worse.
Oh.
There are worse than bandits out there.
Yeah, I know.
Like the dragons that
Paladin
so
wants
far
challenge.
we've heard disappear.
The dragons may or may not be there, but their traps and devices still exist in the desert.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's no point in us going around like this, so we move on and
Their cities and traps are set up such that only a dragon could survive.
Yay me? Oh shit, that means they're gonna send me first.
no, it means that you're probably going to fly over.
I think also bigger dragons could survive this, not smaller dragons.
She can fly.
He does not know much more than that. He just knows to avoid the areas.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Finding big bag things.
you get a farewell from the caravan,
Yep.
and then they start heading off during dusk. Because that's the best time to start setting off. It's still warm,
Yep.
but at least you get a fair chunk of natural light before noon.
Yeah.
Okay. After travelling along the caravan path for another 4 hours, your guide says this is the point we need to head north. Unfortunately, at this stage, you can't shed light. If you show any form of light, we will be attacked.
That's gonna suck for the paladin.
Yeah, you've got a cloak though. We put you on.
We got
in
you a
cloak.
cloak for a reason.
Yeah.
You can still see the light through the cloak.
No, we got that special cloak.
You can wrap yourself up and just cover it. It's
Burrito
basically
me.
it's basically just some unknown wrapping over there.
Yeah, that slightly glows in the distance.
As much as we could cover you, we've endeavoured to do so, which is why you had to uncover yourself to
Yeah.
have the caravan
Yeah.
spot you.
Either that
So-
or you're like 300 meters behind us.
Yeah. Well, no. The reason why you had to uncover yourself to get the caravan's attention, it's already doing its job. So.
Plus they would have.
Somewhat.
Plus they it also signals that you're a paladin.
Right.
And also signals you're a paladin, yes. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the only other thing. Well, as I said, I mean, I've got three glowy things that they
I cloak
need
myself
on
up to
me.
the best of our ability with whatever we have.
So basically, what you're doing before.
Yeah, basically. Still a bit dull, bit whatever the fuck it is over there.
It really makes a really, really thick coffee.
Because this is the light of my god.
Don't waste my coffee.
The god of the sun.
I know. Even your sun god would probably appreciate not being the beacon of light in a desert. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Okay, so your guide goes through and starts checking everyone's desert gear to make sure it's all set appropriately. This is where you're about to head. Is prone with sandstorms, and communication will be hard. And he starts rigging up lines from
Yeah, I was
animal
about to
animal
say, are we doing tether lines? Yeah.
and person to animal.
Yeah.
So you can actually jump off
Can't
the
wait for
animal
your
and fly.
Yeah.
Can't wait for your accident to run off.
Oh no, Maxie probably knows. He's not. I mean, he is dumb, but he's not that dumb.
And so you start heading off into the desert. He sort of looks up to this guy and says, we will probably have a sandstorm in the next hour or two. They are a daily, nightly occurrence through this region.
What's the best thing to do during a sandstorm?
Be undercover.
Be undercover if you can afford it is the best thing, but it happens so often that you learn to travel through it, which is why he had all of you buy specific gear
Yeah.
and pointed out which gear to buy.
Yeah. Which is why we're all tethered up and in here. Otherwise, we would be in trouble. Yeah.
Which is also extremely dangerous still to do, he says, but you've minimised the danger. Do you need
Sorry.
did you need something to get out?
Yeah.
That's something no one can do for you.
Sorry.
Is my compass playing up?
Your compass?
Yeah.
As in Yodru's?
Which one? Which compass was that one? The normal compass?
Yes, normal compass.
Yeah, it does not actually point in any direction at the moment. So as you move it around, it points in whichever direction you're moving it.
Why are you not high?
It's one of the reasons why people don't come here. Basically, the region itself still seems to have dregs of fire magic going through it.
Well, if I can still see the sky, I can still know where I'm going.
You can travel by the stars and the moon.
Yeah, it's just that the sandstorm, the compass would have come sort of in handy.
Problem is, he says you can barely see your hand while in a sandstorm.
So we're just travelling then?
Okay, once he's gotten everyone tethered up, he gets off his mount and starts to step gingerly, leading everyone ahead, making sure the ground is safe.
This is good.
Because off the trail, very few people travel. It's not safe to go directly to where you want it to go.
Is there like big, like, was it lion ants or something like that?
There are lots of dangers that the desert, he says.
Insect that buries itself in a nice ditch, things fall down and then punch them.
Do we notice anything as we're traveling, or?
Okay, it is dark and you are traveling without light.
Mm-hmm.
And
So not much.
Your guide is basically taking you north where he said he would take you.
Mm-hmm.
But you do notice about an hour into the trip, the stars start to get harder to see.
Okay. Is that the
Here comes the
sandstorm?
sandstorm.
And you get to a point where you see in front of you glittering, as far as you can see, shifting shadows.
Okay.
And he says, we're about to head into that sandstorm.
Okay.
He says that the
Wrong sandstorm.
Damn it.
the sandstorm, while colder at night, can actually be hot enough to take your skin off if you caught of it in the middle of the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
The sand can get so hot it can go through it.
That's pretty scary. But we're okay.
That's why he's taking you in there at night.
Yep. I presume nothing eventful happens for a bit.
Okay, so you spend the next 2 hours going down into some sort of alley. You can't really tell because all you can barely see is the tether in front of you.
Is there a system for what? Do we know what to do if the tether gets loose or something?
Worry.
Have we discussed that?
I would presume that they've been done because he was tying us together to our animals and to each other. So I would presume.
He's talked us through that.
Well, he's talked us through that, but also they're done up proficiently and would not come loose.
Come loose means that something's cut it.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so
Which I mean, the only thing from that worry would probably be my axe beak, but I would presume that my axe beak is smart enough to know not to do that.
well, this is one of the few times you've seen him just staying close to you.
Yeah, because this is unusual for him as well.
And at about the 2 hours into the storm, you find that you're being tugged forward a lot faster.
Okay. Is there any explanation for that?
No, because you can't actually hear each other talking,
Okay.
and having been caught in an actual sandstorm. It's just lots and lots of noise
So
as you're hearing it hit your clothing, your armor, your animals.
yeah, it's like whipping.
And you've been shown how to keep your head down away from the blast of sand so you don't get it in your eyes and lose your own vision.
Was he at the front of the table?
Yeah.
He was the one
Gingerly
guiding
leading
you.
us.
Yeah. So him hurrying us along is probably not a good thing. So he's either spotted or seen something that requires us to move quicker.
Mhm.
I guess. Did he discuss?
You cut the tether?
No.
No. Did,
No.
did he discuss like things like that? Like if I move quicker, it's for a reason.
Well, he gave you a lot of basic understanding of what to do.
Yeah.
And so instead of me trying to explain all the things to you, if it occurs, this is what he told you to do.
Yeah. From
And that way you don't have to worry about dealing with desert tactics before you need to worry about it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start to feel the area temperature rise about 10 degrees every few minutes as you can feel the sun starting to come on.
That's the reason.
that's why. Yeah. He wants us to get to shelter.
And you know that it would be impossible to build shelter in this storm.
Yeah. So he wants us through the storm as quickly as possible.
And it starts to get from, because it was cold before you went in, to, it's a pretty nice temperature, to, this is getting a little warm, to, yeah, we're probably wearing a little too much, because the gear you put on is very protective and insulating.
Sunglasses. Yeah, the paladin's fine, the rest of us are going, oh shit.
And you basically, you can start to smell part of your clothing getting affected by the temperatures rising. Your clothing's not rated for midday sun.
What about me?
Even you've got stuff thrown over you to make it easier for you.
Yeah, okay.
Because even your eyes would not deal with Sandstorm. Because they have it for animals and pack animals. A polar bear was a challenge, but they came up with something. A bucket. Well, people who love their animals will find ways to make things work.
And they're the type of people that would go the extra effort to make whatever work.
Okay, and then as it starts to actually physically hurt people, you find yourself on a set of stone stairs.
Okay.
And leading up into a chamber.
So he's found a room of some description to be
Okay.
With
Can we
a
do any kind of perception check, or is that impossible at this stage?
I would presume it's impossible.
It's very hard to tell because you just
I
see
imagine
big stones and stuff around you.
Didn't think it would hurt to ask.
Like
Yeah, fair
preserves.
enough, but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
kind of figured, I was like, it's either a ruin he knows is in the area, or it's the ruin. I doubt it's the ruin that we were after.
Okay, he takes you in through what appears to be a little passageway just off the stairs itself. Because you drop down beside the stairs and go in underneath the stairs. And as soon as you go in there, you get your first relief from the sand. The sand's not blowing into the hole, and you find yourself in enough room to be able to squeeze everyone in. It's about 10 feet wide. It used to be a secret door at some point, but the door's been broken. And
Grey robbers.
and the grey robbers have it. And this guy does have a reputation for that.
Yeah. Which is why he would have known it was here in this direction anyway.
Okay, he helps you get all the animals in before dropping a tarp over the entryway. He says this is a good place for you to explore. It's one of the ruins he knows about on the edge of the desert. You aren't actually in the Valley of Death yet. You have probably about another day's travel north into the Valley of Death. But getting some experience exploring ruins of this nation might be good for you.
Well, it's all for exploring.
I mean, it seems pretty well explored anyway. But
Having
yes.
a quick look around, how recent is it being disturbed?
This looks like it. The door itself was damaged probably maybe a couple of years, maybe centuries ago. It's hard to tell because desert doesn't really deteriorate stone that quickly. Okay.
It's the reason why the pyramids still look like pyramids instead of domes.
Well, they did used to be smooth until people pinched the easy parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. But apart from that, they're still pointy places they should be pointy.
And the rock around you seems to be carved stone bigger than you are.
Yeah.
Each piece.
I expect so. With my one.
bigger than even your paladin.
That's nice.
They are large chunks of stone, and they don't seem to have any easy to determine seams. You cannot fill the seam. You can see what appears to be where they join, but you can't actually fill the seam.
We'll need a door for that.
Do we have torches, etc.?
You would have.
Can the paladin take up the wood so that we could see?
I think they're asking for their nightlight.
Can we have a nightlight, please? We're in ruins. We'd like to see where we are.
Yes,
I'm right. I flash it.
Okay.
I resist. I was just about to say I resist making.
Okay, as you flick.
This is Josh you're talking about.
Oh well, in that case, do you have a sound effect for that?
No, probably
I bet he does. Another ooh. Yeah. There you go.
yeah, that's about right. I realise I'm a paladin and I go, oh, chastity bell, of course.
It's called the longsword. Why is it a belt? Well, I'll show you. Okay, so as you light up the area, you notice that there's a body near where he's tarped up the doorway.
As in
Body.
bones?
Yeah. No, it's still fairly fleshy. Even has a couple of arrows sticking out of it.
Investigation on body?
Do they look like trapped arrows or do they look like arrows?
Hard to tell. So give me a investigation roll.
All of the people who want to
Anyone who wants to investigate.
Everyone's looking at the body going, ooh. 17. Yeah.
That's a 19. Do I
19
add stuff to that?
You
If you have intelligence, you add intelligence.
have
And if you have the skill investigation, you add the skill investigation instead of intelligence.
19.
Okay. How about Yodri? He was too busy doing other things.
I'm looking around. They've found a body. They're looking in. I'm just looking through.
Sorry, what were the two skills? You said intelligence.
So
or-
it's your intelligence bonus, or it is the investigation skill,
What is
which
insight?
insight is the thing to tell if people are lying
Oh, so
or
this is
missing
different
things.
from investigation. So my intelligence is +3.
So you add 3 to that, giving you a 22.
22.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
That's okay. I don't mind explaining how the rules work. Because it can be a bit confusing, especially when you've got my head, which has multiple systems running at the same time.
Oh.
I dropped a chocolate on the floor.
Chocolate down, no!
Yeah, pretty much.
I was going to say, do you need someone to rescue a chocolate?
No,
No, that's what I was just doing.
Oh,
Okay, so the three of you recognize it as being a hobgoblin that seems to have been dead for several weeks. It has a rather large crossbow bolt that went straight through its chest and still sticking out.
Oh,
Jeez.
Crossbow bolt is made from a tempered iron. Not something that resembles any of the bolts for sale for current.
So presumably trapped here.
Quite possibly.
Where's that rope? Where's that rope?
And
You have your pseudo ranger and that's about it.
and you
You're all
see
doomed.
you see that some footsteps seem to lead into the place from where you found the body up into a wall 30 feet in, and at that wall you can see that there's a hole.
Yep. Trapped.
So some footsteps lead from.
From the dead body up to the wall.
So is the. Has
And you think the body's been
hobgoblin run
thrown.
away?
You think the goblin has been thrown back 30
Or
feet
thrown
by the
back
blow
by the
of the
blow.
wall.
Okay.
So
it's
he's
basically a
climbed-
ballista stuck in.
Yeah.
He's climbed or tried to climb the wall and triggered
Something.
something. So yeah, just everyone be careful. There is trapped ballistas in this room. don't touch things
Does
needlessly.
Sam know anything about it since he seems familiar with the.
This is basically one of the places they camp at.
Yeah, but they wouldn't touch things willy nilly like a hobgoblin would.
No, they are very careful with what they do. They don't break seals because, well, bad things can
Bad
kill
things
you.
happen. Yep. The example A, right on the floor, of what not to do in ruins.
Example B.
Shh.
You cross the wrong person and you're branded an outlaw, he says. But not all outlaws are the same.
Yeah.
And he's happy to.
So he's suggesting we explore it. How do we do that safely?
He does not know because that's not something he does.
Okay.
You brought him to take you to ruins. This is the first ruins he can get you to safely.
Can we?
And you're stuck here for maybe a day or two at least.
Can we somehow? Do we have any like track checking?
Yes, it's called a star.
So, as I said, your pseudo ranger is about the only thing you have to a rogue that can
Please.
check traps. You're all
Don't
doomed.
you have your
Check the room for traps.
We've also got
Yeah.
That's why I've got the
I
star.
guess I don't have any skills
Not with
to
that.
apply here.
Perception is basically what everyone uses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rogues may have a better perception than others with trap finding, but that's not always.
So I
guaranteed.
could give it a shot.
Don't you
Every-
mean
everyone would do
thieves?
I think Zol
I'm
uses
a swashbuckler.
survival.
I've got good perception, but I don't.
So Zol uses survival for that kind of thing because that's how he tracks and checks that way. But yeah, it wouldn't be as good as a rogue skill. But it's about.
But we've got to do the best we can with what we've got. I'm presuming Chauffeur and Camdo don't have the skills anyway, and besides they're inanimate at the moment.
They're
That's why I
awful,
said.
though.
Yeah, that's why I said I wasn't going to bother
Dragging
looking at.
along.
Dead
Look at the body. I'm
gentlemen.
more interested in looking in the environment.
Okay, so past the wall, the corridor turns off to the left, and it goes another 30 feet into a stone door. The stone door is currently shut.
I want to go on.
So there's a corridor, and it turns to the left,
Yep.
and then there's a door.
I asked Assam how often storms last, like big like this one, last for days.
They can last anywhere between 1 to 5 days. He doesn't expect this one to last a huge amount of time because we're on the edge of the valley, but when you go into the valley itself, they can last up to 5 days.
So we should make use of the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to make use of the time, but we also got to be aware that that eats into our 3 week in and out. Is it 3 week? Yeah, 3 week in and out.
Well, we can't go anywhere with these things.
No. I'm aware of that, but like, it will eat into our ability to investigate places.
Well, we may as well. We're investigating places now.
No, but I mean like the place that we came here to
Yeah, I know,
investigate.
but still, it's good to know that if we can investigate other places, we can actually
30 feet away.
I guess I start doing survival checks to see what traps are in field that I
So,
can see maybe, or find.
Okay.
So
Give me a perception.
with the door itself, does it actually have a opening mechanism?
What, the
She
secret
hasn't
door?
even got to
Oh,
the door yet.
the stone door. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to have a stone door. The stone door doesn't seem to have a mechanism for opening it. You think it's one that you push or pull open. You rolled a 1, did you?
No, if it was pulled,
Re-roll,
wouldn't
re-roll.
there be a handle?
Take it for the story.
I really don't want to die today.
Some
mate.
You're not gonna die,
some
you
of
just look
the
around.
people who open things like this use bars
Yeah,
that they
reroll.
brought
You're
with
just
them.
looking around.
No,
I'd
yeah, in
still
that case,
re-roll.
there'll be holes to put the.
Looking for traps.
In a lot of places like that they are, but looking around, there are places you can wedge things in and pull,
Just looking around.
but you're not too sure.
Look at the floor.
I'm looking really hard at this one brick
What's the
and nothing else.
what's the one of the arrangements?
The Rangers apparently found a trap.
That's the one.
Okay, well, I'll have a look where she's.
Okay,
Are
give
you
me a
sure you're
perception
looking
roll.
at a brick?
Yeah, I'm just looking at literally. I'm like zero down on this one brick, like looking at it.
We've got the opposites, the extremes.
No,
You got a natural 20?
Yeah, 24 all up. Yeah. natural
Okay.
20.
You see she's probably looking at the mechanism that fires the whatever the trap the hobgoblin set off.
Yep.
And that
Is it reloaded?
could quite easily be reloaded, and she's actually sitting on the
Your
trigger.
face down the barrel.
Sitting on the trigger.
Yep.
So she's looking at it and
She's standing on the trigger.
Okay, so
She's
how-
actually sitting on the trigger itself while looking at the mechanism closely, going, I think this is the trap.
yeah. Okay, how can I remove him without anyone getting
Well,
injured?
from your opinion, he should already be dead.
Okay, so it doesn't have a
So it
reloading
is
system.
basically
It's a one and
shot.
one and
bullet.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to be reloaded manually.
Yep.
You found the trap.
No, yeah, clapping. Yep, yes, you found the trap. You're standing on the mechanism. If this was reloaded, you'd be dead.
At least we know what they look like now.
You-
we know what. Well, at least we know what the ballista trap mechanism looks like.
No, well, at least we're happy that it doesn't have a reloading mechanism.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a clip of ammo.
or that clip has already been used up.
No, yeah, thankfully.
Okay, so looking back at the door, you do think if you've got a crowbar, you can put it in there and pull the door open.
Okay, so
Okay.
do we have anything like a crowbar?
Some people do.
Yep.
I probably don't.
It's called a longsword.
Oh.
No.
What are you doing with the long sword?
Yes.
You could do it with a longsword and then it becomes a crowbar afterwards.
No.
Or you could just use a crowbar.
Not only did I get the reaction from the person I wanted, I got a reaction from two people.
Asan does recommend that if you travel too much deeper into any ruins, that you leave anything you don't need to carry with you behind and dress appropriately for dealing with monsters and undead.
Okay, so we should prepare before we go too far.
Monsters Undead. That's all about the paladin. Let's do it. Paladin's ready.
Zal asked his dad if he can, light on.
Okay, he
Oh,
flames on, calling out your name.
Well, so,
Yes, but he gives out more light than you do. You're like,
Are you sure about that?
don't get her angry.
do you
Unless it's that time
do
of
you do
the
60
time of
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
I don't think you do 60-foot radius.
So it's
the
killing
same.
time?
No, I do.
So I could
plus
use
foot radius.
Mage Hand
From
to
here.
open the door.
Okay, you do mage hand, the door doesn't move. It's heavier.
No, so I can't push it down.
It doesn't. You can't manipulate it with mage hand. It doesn't pull or push. It must be stuck.
Using my crowbars.
Give me a strength check with advantage.
Strength check.
I'm gonna watch that bit again just because that was awesome.
The trap
wow.
roll.
Did you strain yourself?
Probably a bit of strain. 12.
12. Okay. You just don't seem to find the right purchase and find yourself face planting against the wall.
Wow.
So,
My ego.
I'm just
I'm gonna have another go and I'm gonna be
just
angry
trying
with
to-
this door.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out. Okay, are you supposed to push the door, pull the door, or slide the door?
He's not quite sure yet. He's still trying to figure it out.
No,
That's what I mean. That there's no markings anywhere that gives you any idea.
The paladin got angry because the door.
Oh, no, the
door
paladin-
one,
okay,
door one
I'm
I'm
paladin
going to
zero.
watch the door to see what it actually does when it tries to. Are you going to pull it this time?
No.
No,
Okay.
He's trying to use the crowbar to make it move one way or the other.
Door one paladin 0.
This is basically it's gonna be 14 rounds of me with the door with a crowbar.
do we need to do initiative with the door?
I'm sure the door will win.
Probably.
They'll be.
What to do? It fell on them.
They'll be. Was it the roper on the other side?
Yeah.
It's not the first time I have had a mimic be the door.
That's a bit better. 14.
Okay, you managed to move the door about an inch out.
So it's
Well,
actually
it's
supposed to
moving.
be coming. So you need to pull it out.
With a big grinding noise as it does that.
Was there anything other noise other than just a grind?
Just a grinding noise.
So stone door on stone. Stone on stone. Okay.
And when you stand up and get ready to get purchased again, you just hear it slide back into place.
So it needs to be one go.
Okay, let me have a go, you
But
wuss.
we also need a way to prop it open or have someone keep it open.
Yep, so. Yep, I'll have a go.
Oh, so you got the stupid gloves.
No, I don't have these stupid gloves.
Nuts.
Stupid gloves.
So would this be like an athletics run?
He says.
I
You
thought
could
it
do
was
an athletics roll to try.
Oh.
Probably
Can I
should have
be
said Josh
sit-
would
wait,
have
Oh,
done it.
that's about it. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I
It
was
is
about to say
strength based.
that goes from a 16 to then a.
Yeah, you tried
You
brute.
tr-
You tried brute.
You tried, but now the halfling's having a go.
Yeah, no, you tried brute strength to start with.
You
and
probably
then-
would have made it move about 6 inches instead of 1.
6 inches.
Okay, let's see. First roll. Okay, that's crap. 11. That was going to be rolling on an 18.
You do
but
have
11.
advantage.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm doing. Here we go. 24.
Okay. Having shown the halfling where to put everything, he just strains and strains, and then eventually you hear the creaking as the door just grinds its way open. The door itself is about 5 foot thick.
Okay, so this basically wasn't designed to be opened.
Either that or there's a mechanism to open
And
it.
as you move it more than a foot, you start to hear the clicking of chain
Uh-oh.
as your
Can I do a
as the
perception?
mechanism that holds it shut seems to be getting harder and harder to hold open.
Can I do a perception check?
So there's
Appears to be a weighted mechanism using a chain.
So automatically closing.
yeah.
Yep.
9 perception.
Can we get?
Do we
as many
see
of
like
us
a
through-
stone depressing anywhere?
14.
That indicates where the mechanism opening.
Cheval
Closing
goes through the gap.
You can hear it in the wall. You can't actually see it. You go through the gap. Okay, so you find yourself
I rolled a 14 on a perception check looking through the gap.
looking through the gap. You see Chevelle light it up for you,
Okay.
and you find a single 40-foot square room. It smells stale and musty. The dust on the floor has been disturbed, but no special details can be determined. 3 huge bronze cylinders reach from the floor to the ceiling in the middle of the room. In the center of each cylinder facing you at floor level is a bronze door. Each door has a bronze handle that can be used to pull the door open. And there are no other
So
exits from
4
the room.
cylinders.
Three
Unlocking
cylinders.
system.
Yeah, I was about to say,
sorry,
is there any
three.
mechanism over this side that I can pull the door open with?
So there's 3
No.
cylinders.
From what you can tell, the door shuts flush to the wall.
And that's it. Is that the mechanism? It's just meant to be flush shut. It's meant to all squeeze through.
Did you say it was a 30-foot square room?
Either that or gem that
Sorry, I was trying.
40-foot square room
Right, with 3 cylinders.
with 3 cylinders in bronze cylinders.
3 bronze cylinders positioned where in the centre?
In
All
the
up
center,
against each
in the
other?
center of the room, each
Or
with a
one
gap between
aside
them.
to okay. So 1, 2, 3. They've all got doors in them.
Yep,
And there's nothing else in the room.
nothing else in the room.
Is there any way to keep this door ajar?
It's
Or
called
Yeah.
jamming a crowbar in it.
No. I
What
was
do you
gonna
have?
say, is there any rubble in this side? That
You
we
don't
could-
think the rubble would be strong enough to hold
No,
it
because
closed.
it's 5 foot. It's 5 foot thick.
Yodri is straining to hold the door open.
Yeah,
So get through now, and then we open it and we come back.
provide any.
Could I actually jam the crowbar down?
You probably could, but then you'll no longer have a crowbar.
It'll snap the crowbar. It's 5 foot thick.
No, it's not that stone. It's actually what's going against what's weighting it down.
Is there a way we can mark the
Well, what's weighing it down is weighing
inside
a
of the
lot
wall
of rock.
so we can find it? Because if it's flush, then it will presumably be hard to find against the wall.
Also, you would have no purchase.
No, we just push it.
Yeah, but like we still need to find the door to get
Yeah, well,
out again.
that's
Mark
easy.
it.
We mark it
You
with
can
a
easily,
crowbar.
easily mark it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Can we mark it?
Yeah, we'll mark it.
Yeah, okay. Well, so we do that. Once I guess we're all in. Mark it before we lose it.
Okay. Well, we haven't done much spelunking in places like this before.
Where is San staying with the animals, or
Yeah.
is he?
He's not going to come with you because he doesn't like going down to places like this.
So once we're all in, I'm gonna.
But before that, I told my axe beak to guard everything.
Okay.
My axe beak and my horse actually asked both of them. Guard.
And both are watching each other warily.
Guard everything, not just each other. I'm asking both of you to play nice to do
I'm going
to do a job.
Stupid axe big.
They're both prideful, so they're probably like they're gonna
Trying to outdo each other with looking over everything.
yes, which is kind of my
Trying to
plan.
come to punches.
Yeah, maybe, but
Something's gonna be dead.
I'm trying to make both of them feel valid.
You validate me.
Well, it's what I've
I'm
been
Mummy's favourite.
it's what I've been told to make them stop doing stupid stuff to please me. It would please me if they work together and guard our stuff and a song.
Well, one of them's got all that up.
She thanks.
Because we know how much you control everything. Once that thing closes again, I just scorch it. So we know where it is.
I was just going to scratch it from the crowbar.
Well, it's scorched now.
Okay, so it's got a scratched, and the scratch has been scorched.
Or did you scratch the scorch so it was easy to see?
I would say scratch the scorch because that would be easier to see.
Well, he has to scratch it twice. It's the first time he can't see because he got scorched.
You see a big white scratch mark on a massive scorch
Okay.
mark.
So what is the symbol of your god?
Why?
Because that's what
You're
you
going to scratch the
mark it
symbol
with.
of his god into it?
Yeah.
I
That's too
think
much effort.
I think that's a bad idea.
I'm not blessing the rock. I'm trying to get us back out.
So while the two of you are doing that, Em and Ariadne can both make perception checks.
That's a nice rock.
Yeah. I'm staring very intently at a rock that looks very similar to the trap I saw before.
The rock is sensible. It's my rock.
Usually, a lot of the stones here seem to be
24.
made of the same rock his rock to save the world is made of.
24.
24. Now you hear a hissing sound of gas coming into the room from the four corners
I
of the
alert
room.
everybody.
Okay. Whee! Okay, start pushing.
Give me a strength check with disadvantage.
Can we
Athletics check with disadvantage. One person can do it.
assist?
Do any of the other doors
I
open
need
when I
advantage.
approach?
The only doors are the three.
Hey, I need some help here. I got a 9. Well,
You got a 9. You couldn't even lock the door.
No. First thing Cheval is doing is grabbing the cloak that she had just around her mouth. So, I suggest everyone else does the same.
Okay. We follow through.
There's 3 doors, all with handles that we can pull open.
There are.
Eeny,
And
meeny,
a single
miny,
person can fit in
moe.
each of them.
Sure. Where are they?
In the center of the room.
In the center of the room.
I
So-
don't know how
so
well you
basically-
see it, but I drew a picture. It's not much of a
Oh,
picture.
cool. Open door 3.
Open door 3. Okay.
open.
What's down door number 3?
Oh, Big Daddy, hell yeah!
yeah, exactly. It'll be like a fire dragon or something.
Oh, that's fine. I'll deal with that.
Yes, and we happen to be in
And a room
hydrogen.
full of gas. Yep.
Room full of hydrogen.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I
Or
said fire.
methane.
Yeah.
Commune.
Hopefully it's like makeshift marks to it. Probably not. We'll find out. Well, I'm just trying to figure out what's down door number 3 and I'm very scared.
It's taken a while to find out what's behind door number 3, so I'm very worried.
Is door number 3 green?
Oh, they're all bronzed. Okay, so.
In the meantime, I'm gonna cast false light on myself. Cause reasons.
You're you're so insecure of dying again.
Yes. I have reasons for that.
So SB is soul burn, is it?
Yep.
Yep.
You use the god's power at cost. Okay, so you open the door. It appears you can see that there is a ladder inside going up and down.
The ladder inside going which way?
Down.
Down.
Up and
Oh.
down.
Up
Up and
and down.
Yep. You're not at the top level.
Whoa. Okay.
Is this? Is the gas rising or?
The gas is basically you
Oh.
can't see it. You can't see the gas whatsoever. You can just hear it.
You can see that.
Well, the dragon heard it. You didn't hear it.
Well, the dragon pointed at that one.
Yeah.
She's like, what's that hissing sound?
Yeah.
I said I can hear a hissing sound. It sounds like gas.
Okay, and while you're looking at the ladder, give me a dexterity saving throw.
All of us? Or just
Sorry.
No,
Chevelle?
just Siobhan.
Oh, me?
Because you've opened the door.
I opened the door.
So just a quick question with Foresight. If I cast this at second or even third level, it says when you cast a spell the second slot level or higher, you gain 5 additional temporary hit points. So that's 5 additional to the 1d4 plus 4. Okay.
So it add all the ones from the spell add together.
Okay, so if I cast it at third level and I got
Is it normally a first level spell or a second level
it
spell?
is a first level spell.
Then you get plus 10 to what you get from the spell normally. It's plus 5 for each level.
Yeah, so I rolled a 3 on my d4,
That's
plus 4, which is 7. So it'll be 17 additional?
17.
17. Okay, so beneath you the floor drops away.
Oh,
Whoa.
shit.
And you have the choice of do you step into the tube as the floor drops away? Do you go with the floor dropping away? Or do you try to jump backwards?
Can I flick a tail out or something from
this
the
is
ground?
this is
No,
on
she's
his
just-
turn.
This is reactive.
This is on his turn reacting to the floor
Yeah.
dropping away.
Alright, yeah. So
Outside is the gas is
Just
heavy,
fine.
it's going to go down the whole.
Well, if there's a ladder and if everyone's going down.
Well, I presume,
What does Chevelle want to do?
I presume it's just the immediate tiles around that.
shame it's not me, because I can just fly.
Yes.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can hit the floor.
I'm pretty sure though I can't lift Chevelle. But, you know.
Probably struggling.
Someone looks
You'd be
very happy
struggling with me.
Oh, well, but someone could grab me, you see. And
I'm not gonna go with. I'm gonna try and go back.
You're gonna try to jump back? Okay, as you jump back without any problems and land because you made the reaction, and you see the door in front of you shut on its own accord and hear it click.
Oh.
So that's door number 3 gone as an option.
But there's a hole in the floor.
Yes, but that hole doesn't have a ladder
And
attached to it.
as the
where's the hole in the floor?
right in front of the tube, same
In
size.
front
as
of the
tube.
door.
In front of the third tube.
Right,
You
okay.
chose.
Okay.
So, not door 3.
So, should I perhaps try door number 2 just in case?
Before anyone tries anything, I'm gonna
check
try
the traps?
survival check the
Look
other
around.
2 dolls. Yeah.
Okay, you can. The survivor will tell you if someone's actually used it recently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, if it's being used at all.
I was about to say, because
Natural
A
one.
natural 20,
Natural
actually. Plus 4, which is 24.
Okay, looking at each of the other 2 tubes, they all look as if they have been used in enough time that all the joints are well greased and maintained.
Okay.
So if someone comes and goes on a regular enough basis to keep the mechanisms working.
basically there's been multiple explorers here, we don't know which one's actually good or not.
But they're not willing to reload the ballista.
Well, looking at the wall, it's not. It doesn't look like an easy thing to get in and out of.
Is there one that shows more
So it
wear,
means that,
or they all look?
Well, they look well maintained.
Yep.
Which means that they all look pristine.
Okay, so that doesn't hold much.
Actually, we can look at this room. How dirty is this room?
Dirty. It has dust and scuff marks on the floor, but no tracks.
No rubble.
A little bit of rubble, but not much.
Knowing that some floor just came out from underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
Claws.
Because he's happy cat, and
Yeah,
he's
I'm
going.
I'm grabbing the crowbar and going to the scorched door.
Mhm.
Having a crack at it.
Give me a athletics with disadvantage.
What are you trying the door, the main door?
The main door, yes.
Yeah, well, I'll assist.
He still gets disadvantage.
In the meantime, knowing that the floor went out on the other one, is there a way I can open these doors without being?
There's a space in between.
That's a
You can
good
try.
roll. I rolled a 19 and a 17, so with athletics, that's 22.
Okay, you feel great resistance against you, as if whatever mechanism shut the door also locked it.
And no movement.
Can I
Got no
try?
movement whatsoever.
Great. Can I try one of the doors? Well, hovering.
You're not very good at hovering for long periods.
Well, I'm learning to hover for this doors, right?
Stretching face.
So I'm letting
right.
everyone.
Something like that.
You can try.
Well, if you
Before you
say
do that, I'm letting everyone. It's one of the two doors.
Yeah,
We
that's
can't go
why
out.
I'm gonna try and give it a shot.
it,
Or can I be
There's
ready?
also the hole in the floor.
Can I be?
Which is not the
There's
gas.
actually also one.
does that lead to the?
Yeah,
Can
what
we
is it?
see
See
the
anything down the
cylinder?
hole?
Is it like?
It's in front of the cylinder. There's no ladder in the hole.
But can we see any way down it with Chauvel's light?
With Chauvel's light, you can probably see that there's a lot of dust down there at the moment because you've just dropped
Is it
Yeah.
clear all
some
the way
stuff
down?
there.
No.
But the thing
Oh,
is, there may not be any way back
So
up.
let me see. Okay, it's about 15 feet. I'd actually say it's probably about 20 feet down because the floor itself is about 10 feet thick.
Okay. And can we tell from the light of Chauvel whether or not there's like tunnels leading off or a room?
You can't see
below?
much. All you can see is that
It goes down.
that there is something down there.
If anything, there's
Floor.
probably spikes down there because you either jump into the ladder or jump back.
Back. Yeah.
And Chauvel decided to jump back and go onto the ladder.
No, I didn't get to choose the ladder. I either jump down the hole
Or you
no,
can-
with the
Yeah, I did give you the option to go into the tube,
You did.
Oh,
You
the
got
tube.
you
but
got
then the
three
tube
options.
itself was where the ladder
Oh, because
was,
that's where the doors are. They're on the tubes.
Yes.
Got it now.
Yes.
and it could have it would have then shut on you while you're inside.
Sorry, my understanding was that there was 3 different pillars with doors next to the pillars, not on the
No,
pillars.
they're on
The,
the-
the,
they're
the
on
pillars
the
themselves were the
Got it
tubes.
now. Okay.
Alright, well I'm gonna. Can I be ready to fly but try the door?
You can.
And hopefully I don't kill
So you
myself?
want to do the middle door.
Yeah, well we gotta get out of here.
Don't you just open the door?
Oh, well no, yeah, sorry, I just opened the door. Oh,
Uh,
okay. Oh, is that-
You could make rolls as much as
No,
you like.
no, I got confused. I am sore.
Yeah, because that's what I did. I just opened the door and then
Oh,
things
okay.
opened underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Do
don't have
so,
to
you
roll.
know how many of these I've actually done?
So,
about 4.
As you open the door, you hear a sound. I'll give you a reaction if you'd like to use a dexterity saving throw to dodge out of the way of something.
So I have to roll now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's fallen out of the
Oh,
roof?
fuck. It's a 4. That doesn't sound
Would you
good.
Want to use a reroll?
I think I might want to use a reroll.
Okay, so you've used a reroll.
What's
Oh,
up,
that's a
Jerry?
lot better. So a reaction is my 19 plus.
So you plus your dex saving throw. If you don't have a dex saving throw,
Plus
then it's your
one.
dexterity bonus.
Dexterity saving throw.
'Cause
Where do you have
Because you have saving throws around your.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
Because you only
no,
have it
I
for.
don't have a dexterity.
Then it's just
saving
plus
throw.
1, so you got
So
20.
just plus 1, so 20.
Okay, you manage to roll out of the way as the spear goes flying past you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's heading right for the door that both Yodri and Chauvel are currently pushing. So both of them get to make dexterity saving throws.
Hello.
We make
As the spear is coming for your
24.
backs. Apparently, it wasn't the halfling.
17.
Well, I thought that was
17.
really
Okay.
good.
As you duck to the side, a metal spear embeds
So,
itself right to the
right.
tip into the wall beside you. And the tip was about that long.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole shaft's made out of
Can I see
metal.
anything in the tube?
Yes,
Basically
there is a
another
ladder
bullet
up and down.
Okay. And no more things?
Well, you need to clean that first.
No more things.
Can you check the traps?
You've already found a trap.
Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, like.
She only tracks what things have been used. There's no, she can't actually check for traps.
She can do a perception to look for traps, but it's perception instead of survival.
Yeah. No, the reason I was doing survival before is because I wanted to see if there was a door used more than the
Okay.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's where
I'll
they
see you
all have
tomorrow.
been used enough.
I just meant, like,
Okay.
maybe there's another spear.
I can. No.
Okay.
Still looking at a brick.
So would you get a 1?
So,
You say it's definitely trapped. She points to the hole
Yeah.
that the spear came out of and says, "Yeah, there's a trap here."
Okay.
It probably happens when you open the door. And goes into this whole
Thanks.
detail about taking up
Can I-
precious moment as you start coughing.
Can I perceive any
Down.
other dangers?
You go into that tube.
No, I'm looking to. I'm closest. You're at the door. I'm looking to see if there's any
Light
other
source is
dangers.
going down because we're now starting to cough. through
Yeah,
these gates.
I know, but it'll take me like 2 seconds to look down the hole.
You look down the hole. It's dark.
Oh, there's a ladder. We're
There's
using
a
this
ladder.
ladder to go
Alright.
down.
You wanna go
Given
first?
that I was
No, no,
standing
let's go
between
first. Okay,
door one
Let's go
and
first.
2, how far does my globe light go into?
Well, it doesn't go into the room because it's got a door that blocks
Yeah.
and a tube that blocks. So you might be able to see a little bit inside that there's a ladder.
Same as the paladin as we try to figure out that whole.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I light a torch.
Mhm.
I activate mating.
Okay, so you light a torch.
Don't light a torch in a gas chamber.
No, I don't
Oh
light a
my
torch in the back gas
God.
chamber.
Okay.
Give me an insight
The
roll.
paladin is going down.
Yeah,
The
bye.
paladin's already said he's going down.
Okay.
I'm following the paladin.
So the paladin.
I'm going to
is-
reroll that one.
Are you going up or down?
Now,
Down. Okay. Paladin starts going down.
not much better.
Not much better. I got a 10.
I
10.
Following the paladin.
You think there's something about the gas in the room?
Yeah, I know. Can I actually smell the gas, or is it?
No.
We're coughing right now.
Everyone's starting to
I'm
cough.
following the
Okay.
paladin. Who's following me?
Probably for the right.
Well, I'll have to follow due to the fact that I'll be in total darkness.
The light sources are quickly going down.
Okay.
Well, I
And they've gone down the middle tube.
I don't have any night
The
goggles.
metal or rock? Oh no, you're saying the door was metal.
The doors for all the tubes were brass.
Brass.
So the
And the
inner.
tube's brass
the
as well.
door
The ladders are
each
brass.
with a
Yeah.
handle.
We're going down. We're going down.
Yeah, I was
fast.
more
Yeah.
interested if there was any.
No,
sport
sorry. I
lights
thought it was rock around the doors, not that the
No,
whole
no, no,
tube,
no, no, no.
tubing and door was brass.
The entire tubing was brass.
Brass, right? Okay.
Which is why I was asking Martin. I thought it was like metal tubes, it's pillars, and then doors.
No. Like I understood that they were pillars, but I thought the pillars were
No,
rock
they're all
rock cylinders with just the doors as things.
Martin did describe that. It was all brass.
Yeah, I wrote it down and drew a picture.
I heard the brass bit. I didn't hear all brass. I just presumed because we're in with rocks and I keep staring at rocks.
So so you've got a square. So you've got a square room, and in the middle of the square room is 3 circles, and they're cylinders that go
Yeah, no, we know
down.
that.
And
We're
they've
all
got
going-
doors
we're all
in there.
going down.
We're all going down.
We're all going down.
Okay. So, Josh, as the first one down,
Beautiful.
you see the ladders open up into the room below, not far from where you opened up the trap,
Yep.
and you see that It's about 3 2-foot-long black beetles with glowing abdomens are lighting up small little areas of the area, moving around the outsides of the room, but seem to be looking up in your direction as you move in.
Black beetles.
Because you're a new light source that they've never seen before.
Cool.
And you do recognize them as fire beetles.
Wee, this is gonna be fun.
How big are they?
They are 2-foot-long beetles.
So
They're
like
small.
So they're about
So they're not
that
small.
long.
Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna say
60 centimeters.
they're like
In
they're
terms
like
of sizing,
the
though.
size of the big rats we've seen before.
Yeah, they're about the size of their own.
Cool.
Hot, actually. Fire beetles. Toasty.
Toasty.
And you also see flickerings of machinery everywhere.
Flickerings of machinery everywhere.
Because you can in the light, because they're creating bits of light and flashes of light.
I'm creating
You're creating light and flashes of light because depending on what you're wearing, some of it is covered.
My face is covered, that's about it. Everything's screaming paladin.
And you can also see 3 stone doors leading from this chamber.
Jesus Christ, all
It's a
two
maze.
doors.
Woohoo.
Okay, so what would you like to do having had that description? Because you're the one in front.
I'm going
You're going to meow and hope for the best.
to. Yeah. Get Durion in it.
Okay, you hear a cat. Oh shit.
I'm gonna step forward into the room.
Yeah.
Step in or drop down?
Well, we can.
Well, you're coming down the ladder.
Yeah.
Does that come up onto a flat landing, or do you,
Or does it drop?
or does it drop?
The ladders go right down to the floor.
Right. Yes.
But once you get through the ceiling, you don't only get the tube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Martin said that I've already been off the landing.
I just, because my brains can't write as fast as you describe. The ladder comes down into a square room with another 3 stone doors in the centre of the room.
The doors are on the outside of the
On
room.
the outside, so across from the ladder.
So there is 2 on one side and 3 on the other. 2 on the other. So 1 on one side, 2 on the
On
other.
the other, and the ladders.
And the ladders go right in the middle.
Okay, so the ladder's here.
Yeah.
Door
And there are
here.
3 ladders going down.
Oh,
So
there's
the
3
three-
ladders.
Each for each of the tubes.
Okay, so there's 3 ladders. We come down the second one. There's a door here and 2 doors here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But essentially, we set off the traps with the 2 doors, presuming that they weren't all booby trapped.
I'm going door number 3. What's behind door number 1? Is out of character.
It was also a trap.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Is there a hole from that we can see from door number 3, or was it?
The hole's still there.
Oh, okay.
But it is seems to be a mechanism, and as you're watching, you're watching it slowly lifting up.
Oh.
Lifting the floor up.
But it is one of those things that just drops away and then slowly comes back up again.
Yeah, I try and light up the room to the best of my ability and see what's
Mhm.
actually around.
Okay.
And
The
in
beetles
the
go,
meantime,
"Ooh,
like,
food."
the dragon comes through and then Zal comes through and it's 60 foot wide.
And you said there were 2 of these fire
100
beetles.
foot.
There were 2 of these fire beetles.
Did they run away or they just
Yeah,
stopped and looked?
Not at this
Blinding
stage.
paladin.
Yeah.
Your drift globe at this point is amazing.
No, I'm pretty sure my drift globe was that. As much, probably a bigger radius and as much light as you, but in a bigger radius.
So that's basically what they look like.
Oh, cool, nice.
Cute.
That's a bit scary.
Cat-sized versions
Cat
of
size
that.
of that.
They're not scary at all.
Hey, Theron, where'd you go?
They like to look out the windows and then go out and complain. Now he's sitting on the chair.
Oh, there he is.
Alright,
Hey,
did I
Tyrion.
get that room, did I get that kind of right?
Tyrion.
The letters are in the middle of the room, not on
okay.
an edge.
So the square goes around.
So yes.
So we may need to work our way out of this. So I think.
And as you start to move down, they light the room up quite a lot. meaning they're quite agitated.
Yay. How many was it? Just
Three.
three? Oh,
Three.
three.
You did all three.
3.
Hey, look, we got light down here.
Okay, so you get down off the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay, which point I will be saying initiative.
Finally.
It's D20. And is that just the number?
It would be plus
That is a bad roll
plus
for me.
your plus your initiative bonus, which is Dex.
Yes, Dex normally, unless you've got other things as well. So, what did Godry get for his?
I rolled badly. I got 14.
Rolled better than me.
Well, I rolled a 4.
Oh, okay, never mind. I rolled 12 plus 1. No, plus 2
Yeah,
actually.
because my initiative bonus is 10.
Wow.
Because I also had my charisma to it.
So what did Zal get?
And I also
14.
got,
As well.
was it alert, which also gives me a +5. And I
Okay.
can't be surprised.
It's your roll reaction. And what did?
I got 17.
I don't think I get any bonuses aside from my plus 1 dex.
Yeah, I think that's what you get at this
So that's 11 plus 1, which is 12.
Okay, so as you reach the bottom, the three beetles charge you before you're ready.
Oh, lovely.
Oh wow, they've got a higher initiative than the Paladin?
Yep, they beat him by 1 point.
Oh,
One whole
wow.
point.
So you got 12.
No, I got 14.
You got 14. You got
17.
and you
I
got
got 14.
14.
Okay, so first one rushes at you, hitting an armor class of 12. Ping!
Yep.
Next one comes rushing up at you, hitting an armor class of 17.
Yes.
Okay, so he does slashing damage.
Do I have corrosive bites?
You don't know.
Well, we'll soon
Find out.
And does 4 points of slashing damage as it hits you.
Now.
And then the third one comes in and attacks you, hitting armor class 15,
Nope.
and tink off your armor again. None of them providing any form of flanking because they're not working together.
They've just gone rush.
I don't give animal intelligence that don't have pack tactics
Yeah,
flanking.
that's right. What that pack tactics
So as soon as they have pack tactics, then they're as good as a cunning person, but then you'll get some stupid combatants who don't do pack tactics when they quite easily get away with it. So some intelligent creatures don't get it, whereas some animals do get it. I do it based on how I believe they would act.
Now.
So now you're up. You've got 3 whole targets around you attacking you.
Yep.
One of them actually hurt you.
I know. The one that hurt me. As a bonus action, I'm using Foul Immunity.
So I believe it does how much? I said 4 damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not sure how accurate it will be, but I'll put some up there at this stage. Or we're about 40 points now.
So,
Less than 10%.
so can we? So
Everyone else is on the ladder.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Are they actually near the ladder? He's near the ladder. And then you-
He's just stepped off the ladder. He's at the base of the ladder.
I'm moving out.
No, I'm just wondering if since
Quite
if you're
possibly.
looking down, if you can
You'll
actually see them.
depending on who acts next.
I'm behind Chevelle.
Yes,
but
at the
you're-
moment, Chevelle is surrounded.
Oh, I'm
But
last
you're
in
ju-
initiation or
I'm
something.
last.
How would that work if I'm second in line but last in initiation?
They're gonna have to wait for you.
Everyone's down to wait.
It means that we're gonna have to hold our initiative.
Oh, okay.
Or unless we want to do something that doesn't actually require us to move down.
Yeah, okay.
But I presume if Chanel's only just got to the bottom,
Swords out, 2 meters.
she's
Grab
only just
me.
coming out the hole. So we're
Galv
still
Mindy
shooting.
on the one that's hit me.
Yep. You shall die.
Yeah, basically.
Did you say they were called fire beetles?
They are called giant fire beetles.
Oh, giant.
Small beasts.
So can we actually see the little bugs?
Or
From-
once they get angry, they light up the whole area.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because if I'm looking down, if I can see.
From the hole, you'd be able to see it.
So I would. be
and you'd
able
also
to-
see the shimmering effect of the gas going into the hole.
It's all right. It was going to be casting chill touch.
No, I was just saying, this the first time you've actually seen a physical presence of the gas is through the light of the beetles.
So so downstairs there's gas as well.
The gas is going down the hole into the area below.
Because it means it's a heavy gas, so it's following us down, which is not a good thing.
So we should have actually gone up.
Yes. But the paladin decided it was going to go down.
Yep.
Because he didn't Discuss it,
Actually-
he just went down.
I know what I'm going. Actually, did the door lock behind us?
Which one?
The one that we came through.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes, it will lock behind you.
Yeah.
That's how they design nearly all the doors.
So you have to get through the maze essentially.
Yeah.
That's the quiet.
We're stuck in here now. Until we get through.
Unless we get somebody who's got stones
So,
and mud
Martin,
spells.
longsword, because I'm
I
assuming
don't
it's worse.
do.
Yep. It does an extra dice of damage for its bosses.
And that's already on the log.
Probably not fully. Let me have a quick look.
I've got 2d6 one-handed, 3d8 two-handed.
That's without the bonus.
Okay, cool. So that's fair.
Because the more you learn to use weapons, the better you get at them.
Yeah, no, I think when I got it, I immediately chose
When your longsword stat on there is just the skill of the longsword. So
Oh,
any
yeah.
longsword you pick up has that bonus.
Cool.
Then you add your magic bonus on top of it.
Yes, +1, yeah, I've already had that. Yeah. So I'll do that in a minute. So attack roll at +5. With advantage is 18.
18 is a hit.
Good stuff.
How many dice do you have? He goes, splatter! Well, he has 4 hit points.
Fair enough! Second attack on the
Yep.
other one. Unfortunately, I don't have my thing because I've already used my action.
So funny.
9.
9 is not a hit.
I missed. Okay.
Mr. Beetle.
With the explosion of flame as you take out the first one, you're slightly distracted while
Yeah,
hitting the
that's
next one.
fine.
And what do you want to do
missed. I thought you said another hit.
then? He missed on a 9.
Oh,
So the
right.
first one exploded, and the explosion of the first one made the second one harder to hit. So, what do you wish to do? You can still move, but if you do move away from them, they can get a free attack on you. But you're stopping other people coming down the line.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm just gonna move through. I'm gonna move.
And you do notice that the explosion seems to go up to the ceiling.
Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna move through. And then
So
go
is he
back.
just burnt off the gas?
Well, there was this flame that went up briefly.
No, yeah. Just gonna
It's like when a bit of a log explodes and it goes.
wait, sorry, Martin. Does 10 hit?
10 does not hit.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure because it's actually +6 instead of +5.
Oh, you know what I could have done?
Cool.
Lots of
Blah,
things.
blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
blah.
I have comprehend languages.
Yep. Okay, so
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
walk a little bit further into the...
okay, so the two of them use their reaction to attack you. First one gets an armor class of 11. Second one gets a
Oh.
flashing dice.
Oh. Who's it attacking? The paladin.
The paladin.
Yeah,
So
Oh, the rest attacking.
as you try to escape from it, it does a critical hit, doing 2 damage.
Oh wow.
Ow!
It is a d6 minus 1 by 2.
With a minimum of 1.
Wait, 6 minus 1.
Yeah, with a minimum of 1.
Is it with a minimum of 1?
Minimum of 1, yes. Because you're only going to do 1 if you hit. So basically, a 1 or a 2 is considered exactly the same. And then they doubled the dice.
Oh, that's
Really?
hilarious.
And it's just like looking at it, it's like,
What?
that's really a scratch.
It's
really a scratch.
Paladin's gonna go, ow, and keep
Though
on
you
going.
did feel it bite through your clothing.
He
So
bit
there's
through
a-
your clothing.
So there's a hole in your clothing.
Does anyone have bending?
Yes,
I'm not impressed.
and so you move away. And then we are up to the next in order, which is
I'm still giving them within melee range. I'm just clearing the
clearing the way. Is between Zal and Yodri. Who wants
Well,
to go next?
Zal's behind me, so it would be probably.
Well, they get to choose between them who
Oh,
gets
do
to go
they?
next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if they choose to delay to wait to give you time to clear the way for them, that's their choice.
Alright.
But between them, they've got the same initiative, so they get to choose.
Okay.
I had a quick question. I presume when we were in the initial thing, when he said, you know, like take your stuff off, we've taken out like the desert clothes off over our like armor that we have. So it's just we're wearing out all the armors, all the new armor that I've worn anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the clothing and stuff the desert wears on upstairs.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I just
It was basically going lightweight.
Yeah. We are in our combat gear, not our desert gear over the top of that. I don't know. I'm happy to hold my initiative for.
Did you bring the child with you?
Yes.
Backpack on his
Because it
back.
might be a bit late if you didn't.
You see my backpack.
Yeah, is there actually like a dedicated backpack for it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
I didn't get a critical.
I'm happy to hold my initiative
Because I'm
for
seeing all your updates as well.
Calcrix
So
to
the grey weapon fighting, I got a
drop
critical
down.
first one, I got a bonus attack. So we've taken out 3 attacks. So
So, what did Yodri want to do? Did he want to lay as well or jump down the hole?
No. If I could actually see one, I'm going to just cast Chill Touch.
Right, it's very hard to see them down the hole because it is a 10-foot
You
long
have to
hole.
drop past Zal and me.
Yeah, so you'll
We've got a
You
jar on
can
your
technically
back,
drop down the hole and see them when you drop through.
but you have to drop first.
and I presume we're taking up most of that space in the draw.
Yeah. 'Cause it's a
And you can
shield.
choose to wait instead.
The other one will screw everybody else up.
Fireball.
No. I'll just go do fear.
I'll make you afraid.
no.
They got to have a mind to be fearful, and some creatures have so low intelligence they are immune to some of those effects, unless they particularly target that type of creature. Okay, so both of you are weighted now. Calcrix, because you're on the ladder, you can technically jump off with your flight
Yeah.
on your way down.
Yeah.
And then breathe on them if you want
Can I target remaining alive people and
Yep, there are two together.
do an attack on them?
You can do your breath on them if you really wish to, and not get Cheval.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna get Cheval. And
Well, it is a line.
It'd be funny because the most damage would have come
but
from
I
teleports.
You can line up so you don't
I
get.
can line up so I don't get okay. So I might do that. I'll just try to find my breath weapon, lightning breath weapon.
Actually, no. Just while she's looking that up, with false light, do I add the magic modifier to that +4 as well? Because I have a +7 to my wizard spells, and it's a 1d4.
I thought you had your proficiency bonus.
I'll
That
look
is-
at. I'll
So
look at
I
it
have
for
a
you.
proficiency of +7, but in the rules for this, it's 1d4 +4. But then do I add my 7 to that +4?
No, you do not. It's 1d4 +4, and that's it.
Yeah.
+5 for level 2 and 5 for level 3.
Yeah.
So it is 1d4 +14 when cast as a low level spell.
Yeah.
And if you got more for that would be great, but unfortunately,
Yeah, no, that's why,
it's a low level spell.
because I remembered that I had the spell modifier, but that's only really ever applied to like physical spells.
To throw spells at people and
Yep.
hit them.
Yep.
It's more for hitting, more for a few other things where you need to check that.
Yep. No, that's what I just thought of.
It's also what you apply to aid to represent the difficulty for people to resist your spells.
It's been a while since I've had to cast magic, so I'm just like
Oh, good.
reacquainting myself with.
I was hoping these bills would be harder.
Shut up. Then you
this-
find out that these would be babies, and then you find the parents in the next.
This says just saving throw, dex save. DC
They have a dex saving throw
16.
against you, and so if they fail to get a 16 on their dex saving throw,
Yep.
then they take
Or they take
the full
2
damage.
D6.
Ah,
lightning
cool.
So you're all 2d6 to represent your damage.
Because anyway,
Don't get an
Four.
extra hit dice.
1.
Okay, so your lightning goes through, clipping both of them, but not taking them out, because they managed to get a 16 and 18 respectively, which means they take half the damage. So that means it was a 2 damage each. So half the damage of them. And on the ladder, both Yodri and Zal also take 2 damage.
Oh.
They're right next to the ladder and
We're
up
on
onto the
them.
ladder.
Oh.
You didn't know that at the time because you never dealt with that as a character. If you've never dealt with it, I don't give you a warning on things like that.
Yeah.
It's fine because that just takes, what, 2 off my false life count? So that's...
He doesn't know I'm wearing leather.
But you're touching the letter in more than one place.
It's going to be interesting on who these beetles are talking about. Probably
Okay.
the paladin that walks straight through.
And now you return to Cheval, who was next in line. Zal, who was next in line.
Because they held their...
Yeah, held their actions.
Yeah,
So
because we got nowhere to go.
Yodri was at the back, and Zal says she'll go when the dragon goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the false life takes the brunt before...
First.
Yeah. So, and I rolled... Oh yeah, cast it at third, which is plus 10, 1d...
And you rolled a 3, so that
4,
gave it the
17.
17.
Yep.
Okay, so yes,
So that's
you can easily get down the ladder, and you see there are 2 beetles slightly sizzling, but looking at Cheval like he's food.
Like I'm food.
Oh, you're the best food for them. You're hot. They're fire beetles.
Yeah.
Do I now know that I need to be wary of people behind me?
Once they tell you,
Okay, so
Well, we
You-
come
it
down
wouldn't-
on
it
our
wouldn't be-
heads like
it
this.
wouldn't be obvious that you clipped the ladder with it
it would eventually become obvious though.
if they tell you.
Okay.
So,
for
have
me,
you
it's,
seen
for me,
the-
it's just it's taken 2
I-
off my false life. So
But
it's
I
like,
still
like
think
a-
this is something I should know.
So have you seen the
Like, I should be
Mongol
aware
Horde?
of.
Don't putting was a
Knowledge
GoPro
helps.
down
Knowledge
the
helps. Because if I can
yeah,
adjust
back
next
to the
time
ship to repair it.
slightly, then
Also,
So basically, I'm fronting up like that.
basically what
like
they
that
have
as well.
felt is basically the equivalent of getting a static shock. Like, yes, it was like, oh, that's interesting, and then just go on.
we could have also maybe presumed it was from the fire beetle exploding as
Yeah.
well, because the flames came up towards the hole.
There's so
So
much-
it could have been that as well. So we don't, as
Well,
characters,
so-
unless
so-
we investigated
Well,
why we got
you
damaged.
might think it's fire. I think it's electricity. It's hairs all out of place.
so
and that.
at this
So
stage, I
as
still
players,
don't
we know what it is. As characters, they need
Yeah.
to investigate
Yeah.
because there are many effects that
Although I'm
have
just taking
repercussions.
notes, that's why I want to know how to write it.
How close are they to me?
Well, if you slide down the ladder to the bottom, they'll be right next to you.
Okay, but I could attack them from up here with
Well, only if you can do it while not hanging onto the ladder.
that.
Yeah, you need to hang onto the ladder.
Well, I presume I can cast Thorn
No.
Whip with one hand because
No
it's
way.
instantaneous cast.
Let me have a
Yeah, I
look.
was about to say casting. Ooh, you might have
Depends on if it has semantic gestures or not. Semantic means you need both hands free,
Yeah.
unless you have Warcaster.
I don't have Warcaster, but I also haven't written. I've written duration and range, but I haven't written whether it's
So,
not semantics.
Thorn
I should
Whip.
probably
You need to have a vocal. You need to have semantic. So it's verbal, semantic. So you need to gesture, and you need to basically pull a material component out. Do you have a spell pouch?
I presume I do.
You don't presume you do?
No, I said I presume I do.
Because you don't have a spell pouch, you might have misplaced your
Yeah.
material component for the spell, and it doesn't use up the material component. You just got to have it on hand to use.
No, I mean, I
So
presume.
because you have the semantic, you can't cast on that.
Yeah. That's fine. So I could drop
Not
down.
unless someone else is bracing you, so your hands are both free to do it.
Roger.
That's fine. I can also
Unless it
drop
actually
down.
states in the spell that you require a free hand.
Most spells that have semantic
Semantic.
require 2 free hands.
Yeah.
That's the rule on spell
Which is
casting.
you basically.
And I don't have.
Except for moving blade.
Warcaster also has, you can have a shield and a weapon in your hands and still
Yeah, I
do
know.
semantic
That's
casting.
Warcaster is awesome.
It's designed for people who use weapons in combat.
Warlocks.
Okay.
Eventually, I might be able to get that. That's fine. No, I just I presume I have a pouch because a lot of my
Then we'll assume you have one, but you'd have to get down and I believe that casting a spell may provoke. Let me just check what other things provoke.
because a lot of my
How many
cantrips
arrows do
require.
these beetles have?
I was just checking it in general in case she didn't know they attack.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. Because I'm coming into their zone, not leaving it, so it might be okay.
It's normally leaving, but other things can provoke. So
Yes,
let's
yes,
have a
yes,
quick look.
Like casting it as ranged.
No, I presume because a few of my spells require components, and especially some of my most used cantrips require components. So I presume I have a pouch on my belt where everything else is for that. So
You know,
I can add that to my
That's
list.
okay. I was
of
just
We're
trying to
in
see if
phase
I actually
1B
had it.
now, seeing 70-plus-year-olds trying to open a chopper chop. It's both hilarious and sad at the same time. I'm just like,
I know their pain.
and I've gotten to the point where it's like I'm actually helping some of them now. I'm just like, it's very adorable.
I
and
presume that my
Yeah, I
clerical
know their
symbol is on
pain.
the front of my house. So
trying
Yep.
to break into a
Well,
lollipop.
these three
that's
things
what
are
I've always
enough.
presumed.
Or
So,
around your neck,
I'm
or
really
attached to
only
your
operating
wrist,
with
or there are many
full
things you can do
functional.
that.
Well, that's always been on my belt next to my dad's. So
Yay, I finally got them.
There you go. Just find the one
I used to
spot.
have chopper chops when I go for all the needles, like I have the trigger,
Yeah.
So I'll just have you get
And
down
also-
and do you want to cast it while next to them?
and I get one of those.
Or do you wish to move away?
Watching my specialist open one of those for me is so funny.
Isn't she moving down the ladder?
I'm just trying to.
if
She has to move down the ladder first.
if I cast it, if I walk away from them, then I'm only going to be pulling them towards me anyway. So I may as well just cast it while I'm over the top of them. Because essentially, I'm probably going to squish them anyway.
We don't know that. It's a character.
I do 2d6 piercing damage.
You don't know there's a character.
I know, but
Well, they've seemed to have taken some sort of damage and are going, and the Helens only managed to take one of them out.
even then, they get pulled closer to me anyway. So I don't see the point of stepping away, because I've seen it. I presume I saw it attack you as you stepped away, so I don't really want to do that.
Did you like put your pain into
Okay, so at
With
this
the
stage,
CC.
provoking an attack seems to be limited only to moving out of their reach,
Okay.
unless you have a feat that allows you to interrupt, which is another combat feat.
Yep. Yep.
Just confirming that.
The reason why I'm not using the shield.
But no, you must have at least one hand free to perform a semantic issue, so you can do it with one hand busy.
Oh, good. Okay, so I don't
So
even
you
have
could
to
technically do it on the ladder.
Sweet. That would make my life a bit easier. I cast Storm Whip from the ladder, so I don't have to jump
Okay.
down.
You're just still
So
stuck
it's good to
behind
check these things to make sure that she can move after she casts a spell.
you. Oh no, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So movement is not part
No,
of your
no,
of your action. It's outside
Sorry,
of
I
your
forgot that she didn't move.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have moved if I didn't have to. So if I
Yeah,
can
because you have
cast.
action, movement,
So you can do movement before and after your action.
Yeah.
And because your movement is on your turn, and you have a certain amount you can do. You have an action, reaction, and a bonus action that you can do on your turn.
I'll be back later.
So your reaction refreshes at the start of your turn.
You really like to throw stuff on the floor.
It's okay. I sometimes find dice there afterwards.
Well, you'll know it's mine because it's red.
Well, it must have gone fast.
So what are they doing?
So it's instantaneous cast. It's a cantrip, so I don't need to roll.
But it is targeted to hit.
Is this still target to
I
hit?
believe it's targeted to hit because I don't think they have a saving throw.
What's the page?
I'm not sure.
Spells on the T.
Yeah, spells on
I'll
the T.
find it.
Because it's an instantaneous cast and it's a cantrip, so I didn't think you had to roll cantrips.
You do.
Make a melee spell attack against the target. So
Does that mean it doesn't have range if you need to make a melee attack?
It's
I believe it is a. I believe it's a strength. I said no, it isn't. It is your make it a caster check instead of a melee spell attack. Make a caster check.
Just, yeah.
It says make a melee spell attack, which should be caster check. I think it's that misprint.
Now, question.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. I think I got. Because it's a druid spell.
It would be done through your clerical.
Clerical one. Okay, yeah. So it's plus 4 then.
So it's your wisdom modifier plus 3, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a plus 4.
Okay, so that's all
I think
4.
that was one.
She was not designed as a.
I wasn't
That's
designed
right,
as a
that's right.
And I've boosted
Does-
my intelligence because I've been using my wizard spells, and I'm working
Yeah.
on boosting my.
And that's part of the
wisdom.
whole pride at her part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have the circle
it's
of
plus one. No, no,
intelligence,
it's not good, so
and
it's
I'm
good.
waiting for the levels to
Oh,
be able to
good,
tune.
Em, I get it.
And then waiting to get the wish spell so
Yeah.
you can redo your.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember. I was about to say I'm pretty sure I got it through a cleric feat. Was able to take one druid's cantrip. But yeah,
But it becomes a cleric cantrip because it's
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
the cleric.
Yeah, and I think it was also because of the god that you question.
Nature god.
yeah.
So what's happening?
She's using a ranged attack with
It's
plants.
probably dead.
Well, it's a 19 plus 4 to hit it.
So you manage to hit it, and as because you're 5th level, that's 2d6. So
It goes
it
swoosh.
it goes squish with a big bit of flame.
Even if you're on level 1, then 2
Okay, so that means there's one left.
And would you like to move down and away?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you can't do a withdraw action because you have acted,
Yep.
which means that you risk an attack of opportunity, but it doesn't attack you.
Because they didn't try to attack the paladin.
But she didn't know that at the time, so I do things from the character's
I
perspective.
know.
Okay, so now Yodri gets to act as a villain down,
So you've literally seen Zal go at this thing and it's gone.
and another burst of flame.
Okay, I drop down.
You drop down. Yep, you're now beside it. Give me a. Can you fall 20 feet?
Okay, I slide down the ladder then.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. So you basically it takes you half the movement to slide down.
Yep.
So instead of you've moved
Did you have
10 feet of your movement to slide down.
But it's 2 actions. It's just draw sword and hit. Can I do that?
Do you have quick draw?
No.
Because what mine's saying is half your movement to get down the ladder. And then you have your action.
Okay, use bonus action to pull out sword.
Let's check. Is quick draw specifically a bonus action or not? I'll just have a quick look. Because
I-
if it
I-
is
I-
a
Quick
feat,
draw isn't a bonus action because that actually screws up a lot of other things that uses bonus actions. If not, I'll just blast them.
I know quick draws are in Pathfinder because my.
yeah, I don't think quick draw is here. So I'm just going to say at this stage you pull out your blade as you get off the ladder.
Yep.
It'll be here. It'll be here.
There were some things that said
Yeah.
in older editions when you got the +1 you could draw the weapon while moving.
Okay, I hit armor class 25 and it's dead.
Okay, so
Because
yes,
the minimum I can do is 4 points of damage.
it explodes up in your face. You take 1 point of fire damage.
This is why I did a ranged attack.
That's why I'm a fighting Nazi.
No, and I go, ah! I actually have finally killed something. I've actually used my combat. And it's also been backstabbed, because that's why I said I did a minimum, because there's no enemy, and it's all by itself. So
Well,
a minimum,
I made
minimum of
it.
4 points of damage. And then I'm now going,
Singed hairs.
no, I've got spiked.
Spike singed hair.
Yep. And, okay, where's the lightning beetle?
Or 3 beetles.
Yeah, well, I got
No,
you the
5
electricity.
beetles. Oh.
He
I
had a
used
shocking
electricity.
experience.
What?
I used electricity.
Okay. Brass conducts electricity.
Oh, so you got swiped.
Oh, I thought it was a fire damage from him killing the beetle when it came
No,
up.
it was-
No, I
it was
used
electricity
lightning.
No, that's why.
No, I
Oh, no.
Her
Yeah.
character.
because I didn't
No, but
feel it. It
Yodri's
just took off my
telling
pulse.
Calcrix that she's sad.
No.
Oh,
We're
you
saying
felt it.
brass attacks
didn't do
attracts
hit
like
point damage.
electricity.
It dealt hit point damage on my full side.
Yes, but you would have felt it.
You did feel it.
Did I feel it as electricity or did
Your
I feel
hair's
it
down.
as...
So false light is not a bubble around you.
No,
No,
I
no.
know, but I'm just saying because it essentially happened at almost the same time as the fire beetle
Yeah,
fire coming
yeah.
out. I wasn't. I as a character wasn't.
Oh, that's
sure
only
what
alright.
the
Why do you
damage
get
was.
affected by
No,
the
but you said you didn't feel it.
No, I didn't feel
You-
the electricity. I didn't think.
No. You felt the
I felt
electricity.
the damage.
But your god has gone, oh, you've got plenty, you'll keep going.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
basically felt a static zap onto your shoulder, but it didn't deal you damage.
No.
We'd still feel pain.
Yeah, I felt the pain, but I didn't feel what type of damage because of false life. I
Yeah.
think. That's why I
That
didn't
could be
know.
very dangerous. I'm walking across hot coals, I've got false life, it'll be fine.
Fine, yeah. No, so that's why I didn't know whether it was the fire or the electricity
Ow,
damage.
You were
That's
still-
what I'm saying. I know I got damage, I just didn't know if it was fire or electricity.
But you said you worded it as
Alright,
Yeah,
Okay, so-
do we
Now,
get to look
now,
around?
now that you
you
have...
still feel the
So,
damage.
did I
Like
shoot
don't-
Pilford from genuine damage?
yes.
Yep.
Though
That's
he's,
not
his
what
hair
I
is standing up a bit as well.
By saying
Yeah, I know.
that, but okay, whatever.
He doesn't look upset.
No, it's more puzzled.
No, it more has a look up again.
Oh, okay,
So
really?
there it
Yeah.
says 15 instead of 17.
Interesting. Your character felt it.
My character felt it, but he didn't know what type of damage. Literally what I said in a different way.
Heathen! They prodded with electricity? Oh, yeah, bloody nose. Electric therapy!
Okay, so looking around, you can see that there are lots of gears, pulleys, and levers all over the room.
So it's a gnomish.
Levers? Oh, levers!
So it's a gnomish heaven.
It doesn't look like much of this has been made with gnomish technology, if any of it.
Dwarf?
It doesn't even look dwarven.
Boy.
It doesn't have the feel of anything that you've ever seen before.
Ain't cat because I don't think cats use brass.
And it does look ancient.
Do any of these
Must resist not to fall lever!
have labeled for the door?
None of them have labels.
Damn.
You can just pull things at random if you wish to.
Can I?
Very tempting.
Can I do like I did before?
Trap click?
Yeah.
Seeing what's been used recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it.
Other people might have chosen to go up. Who knows?
I think the reason why the gas was coming down is because there was a hole in the middle of... Because the other door's actually sealed.
Which only opens when the someone tries to go through the tube. 22. Having a look around the room, this room has probably seen a lot of use. There is oil over every bit of machinery.
Okay, so which lever
There
is
is all the levers look as if they've been maintained and used, and the some of the levers have more wear and tear than others, and you find one of them in particular seems to be rarely used.
Rarely used.
Rarely.
All the others seem to have wear and tear marks, but one of them is barely touched.
That one's there for self-destruction.
But it does look as if it's been used. It just doesn't look like it's used very often. And by the look at things, it was in a different position recently.
Perception.
Because there is
or-
part of it that is less oiled than the others.
Perception or investigation roll to possibly find any chains that lead towards the stone door that we marked.
Okay.
Which one would be perception or investigation?
I'll give you investigation. What do you get? 10. Looking around, there are no real visible chains in this room. There are cogs, there are gears, there are levers, but no visible chains. And there are strange pictures everywhere.
Cheval's intrigued.
Was it pictures?
Yeah, strange pictures everywhere on the stone. Very much like the writing, very much the stuff like on the back of his stone that will save the
The
world.
one that I'm looking at? The one that's
Okay,
used?
I'm going to cast comprehend languages.
Okay, you cast comprehend languages and nothing translates.
No, the thing is, I believe with writing you have to touch the wall. So I'm thinking it's more like pictographs. So they don't have to touch the wall.
You cast comprehend languages and nothing changes.
It's in a language that's not used anymore, dead.
Or it may not be it might actually be a picture and it's not to represent language.
And well, you do
Or it
know
could be
that there
random
are some
markings.
things that cannot be translated by magic.
It could be scratch
Yeah,
marks.
this sort of thing. Read!
Okay.
Actually, that's probably not a bad idea.
So, actually picking up now, does he actually...
He reaches for levers.
Is there actually a...
Chauvel's second in that boat, okay? Chauvel's reaching for levers.
And,
You probably think that as you've been walking around, he's been trying to reach for levers as you've been walking past.
and as the ranger who's trying to investigate the levers, and you're just like, let's die. Zol says, stop it.
So what is actually the pictures of?
You're not really too sure. Like there's
Chauvel
eyes,
says
there
that's 16
are
points.
suns, there are horses, there are camels, there are dogs, there are cats, there are people. It just doesn't make any sense.
Can I join
there a
people
forest?
in the investigations?
Not that you can tell because it just seems to be all these little pictures crammed together.
Okay. No, I was just trying
Like
to see.
hieroglyphics type pictures?
Very much like that. But as far as the characters are concerned, just little pictures
Little
crammed
pictures,
together.
Just visual.
It's like someone's just tiled the wall in pictures.
Since everyone else is investigating, is it alright if Calbrix investigates as well?
Yeah.
Does she roll for that?
What does she want to investigate with?
Just
We've had people looking for levers to find the lever that opens the door above, and unsuccessful in finding that by investigation.
I was talking about change.
I just
That
want to
you're
see
using
if
the
I
change
can.
as a way to determine which one it was.
I just want to do a general investigation just to see what I can tell about the room, particularly if there's signs of danger.
Okay. Give me an investigate roll.
Well, you can start munching on some fire beetles.
Also, on terms of that, we had these 3 doors. Handles?
Let me have a quick look at those doors.
It said stone doors.
They are stone doors.
They might be triggered by levers.
Investigate was just Dex, was it?
It was intelligence.
Intelligence. Oh, actually, it's not too bad then. So I was just looking at it like 2 seconds ago.
They do blur away after time.
I think it was like this one. I can't find it now. No, that's the same thing. Skills.
So whatever.
Plus 5. So 14.
14. Okay. Looking around the room, you do see that the doors on each of the sides of the room each have no handles on them, but they have signs of that they have been used.
Do they look like they've been used that way or
They
that way?
open into the room.
So they're like that way. Okay. I draw Zal's attention to this.
Sorcerer get the night spell.
Anyone else's attention?
Well, you guys can
I'm
hear,
sure
but I
I think
specifically
it might be only wizard.
tell Zal, but you can hear me tell Zal, because Zal's doing the survival check, and she just told you to stop pulling levers, so I defer to her as my ruling adult because you tell me to. Whenever I come to you for stuff, you're like, go to Zal.
I don't say go to Zal.
You have often said
Yeah.
go to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main reason being is that we'd be either being wet or in a place where there are paladins.
How am I supposed to know it's okay now?
You're not actually actively looking for stuff.
Yeah, but
Not
I'm
curl
not
up in a
hiding
room.
it from you. I'm just
Not
like,
curl up into a room, praying to my god to hopefully supernova a really bad place.
I'm not hiding it from you, but I'm just like, hey, the doors, you know. So everyone can hear.
Because Chauvel was going to do the same thing. He was looking for handles, but there's no handles there.
Yeah, so I would tell you.
You're both looking around.
Chauvel's assuming that it's to do with these levers. How many levers are there?
Probably about 20 odd different levers.
Crap, and there's 3 doors.
Yeah.
Which is why Zol's been looking at which ones.
And the one that stands out the most is the one that seems to be in a different position from where it's normally oiled.
Yeah. So this.
The one that's not used.
Yeah, it's
The one-
not. That's rarely used, but has recently been used.
Chauvel was
Uh,
No, why don't you just put it back into the position?
It
where
could be an
it needs to be?
escape door. Like, someone could have just used it to escape when they heard us coming.
You flick the lever?
I was gonna flick that lever because it's the one that stands out the most to me out of any of them, and
So she flicks the lever.
yeah, I flick that lever.
You're not going to let Cheval put the lever?
No, because she's actually investigating it. She's next to it. She can flick it.
Let's see, do I have anything nice for that?
Oh, great.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna die probably.
Moving stone.
So it sounds like moving stones to me.
Yep.
Yes.
From above you.
Nice.
Barbos.
Yep, as it clicks in place.
Nice. I think I just opened the main door.
Or unlocked it.
Or unlocked it.
Or not. We don't know. Basically, it's something above us is moved.
Yes.
Cool. So with that, interesting. Well, at least we've got ladders up.
And by this time, the trapdoor has shut in the cell.
But we still have the ladders up, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was saying, we still got ladders up. We
Mm.
still get up.
I say that's enough adventuring for this morning. unless really wanted to keep going, but
I mean,
Well, we might have to front all the traps again if we want to come back.
yeah.
Except for the one.
I reckon at this stage, if in terms of our main quest, this is definitely interesting.
And this place has a lot of stuff that looks like it's more than just a ruin. It's in use.
Don't get me wrong. So probably on after we've investigated.
What about using the staff to contact Redrian? What about using the staff to contact Redrian? And not
Probably not needed at this stage.
Yeah.
In terms of why we're here, I'm all for going back up the ladders because yes, I'm intrigued, but I'm also very wary of if we open up these 3 doors or if we pull one of the other 19 levers, what the hell's going to happen?
Yeah, no, I understand that. But maybe we want to like take a sample of the drawings or something, so that we can report it back to Redrian at least.
Why would Redrian need?
Because he's asked us to look for unusual technology, and there's a shitload of gears and levers in this room.
Which at this stage could either be gnomish or we don't know this at the time.
Well,
they're not gnomish.
well, as
They
we
don't
don't
look
know where
gnomish.
they're from and they're not translating, it wouldn't
So,
hurt to
those
take
pictures
a
that have-
Then
in the
there's no need to use the stuff to pull Redrian. So
No, but
we can document these down.
well, that's what I'm saying. If we're not going to use the staff, then should we at
So
least
just
document?
just note it down.
So has anyone got any paper?
I would.
You got
Okay.
Potion for Spellbook, I'm sure they can grab out a couple
That-
of pages.
No, I'm not going to use one.
Listen,
We're
we're not going to forget about this in an hour. So we're going to go back up the ladders.
No,
We're going
I was
to-
just wanting to get a couple of samples of the.
Oh no,
pictures
there
of
was that cat in that jewel.
We're going to go back up the ladders. We're going to get back to the animals where all of our stuff is. And then we can document what we've seen and whatever. In terms of...
I'd like to at least draw down a sample of the pictures before I leave the room.
So you and your redo that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need to keep it in order because if you don't, then it could be total nonsense.
What's the thing of crafting?
What are you trying to craft?
Well, no, as in, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to craft an imitation of
They're basically spending time drawing. We just give them time. You can draw pictures. You're talented. So we could make it, if you want to be exact, a craft roll, which would basically be probably along the lines of performance to see how well you can mimic something.
Maybe history, maybe as well.
History is how well you know something. Performance is artistic. It can be seen as a performance.
If it's more like
Or
where the
what about
Yeah.
perception as well?
Perception is how well you see and notice things, but generally not used
So
for
you've already
creating
seen,
things.
yeah, you've already noticed the thing. It is probably it is
The
performance role.
best creation skill we have is performance.
Yeah.
So
Which is understandable
does that
because
mean
like
that-
performing is like creating artwork. So
Does that mean? I
Well,
need
that's
to
for.
roll?
You need to make a performance roll.
Can I reroll?
You can. You've got a few left.
How many have we got left?
Well, you can't use it on the same roll again.
Oh.
so Cheval in terms of once they're doing their writing and stuff. Well, while they're doing their writing, it's going up, opening the cylinder door again, and
The doors seem to be unlocked at this stage.
so the main door is unlocked.
The brass doors are unlocked.
Oh, the brass doors are unlocked.
Because they also lock when you
So
walk
going
in.
back into the main room that we were in before.
Oh.
Do you want to go all the way up to the top?
Don't want to go all the way up.
Okay, so you can see that the room seems as you left.
So completely closed off. There's no.
With the mark on the wall.
With the mark on the wall, so we know it's closed.
Have we walked out?
No,
No,
Chevelle went to the
Cheval's
level above.
investigating.
Oh, okay.
Chevelle went up the level upstairs where you're spending time writing.
Okay. Alright.
Since I'm autoologist, do I use the craft skill from that?
No. That's for using the secret craft.
Because I'm just going.
You might be very good at that one.
Yeah, oh, I use my dexterity instead of charisma. Okay,
So I use charisma?
Yep, we'll use
So
charisma.
I get a 12.
Okay, you think you've done a passable rendition of it. It's not a fantastic piece of artwork, but it's passable.
Yeah.
I think I should let Pilford do it. Unless there's a-
Pilfred probably would do a really good job.
Yeah, he would. It's only got a 6.
He sort of looks at what you're doing and doesn't seem interested.
Not interested.
He just wants to pull levers.
Cheval's intrigued in terms of realize not being able to get out through that way. What's higher up, so I'm putting on top.
Okay.
No, we might have just locked it so we can actually push the door.
Okay,
but,
so
but as long as we don't fiddle with any more levers for now, it will stay unlocked. And we know which lever it is down there now as well. So
Well, if you see one of the levers move, they will.
okay, so you find it opens up into a small little chamber above, and you can see out through some ice slits that there is still a storm raging out there,
Okay, so we're on top.
and that there are a couple of levers up here as well, and no one to watch you.
Nothing else.
No, it just seems to end in this small little room with eye holes. Seems to be a sort of funnel that you can speak through.
fun.
I'm intrigued. I think. Okay. Investigation roll to the levers.
Actually, that's right. What's the height of these levers?
The levers range from about 2 to 3 feet up to about 6 feet.
Okay, so they're not designed for small people.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Having a look around, you think that this contraption is set up inside some sort of statue, which allows you to see through the eyes of the statue, speak from the statue's mouth, and then manipulate the arms and torso of the statue.
So this
Think,
whole
think
thing-
the Wizard of Oz.
So it's basically the whole temple.
The
is an inbuilt statue.
the tube comes up into this statue that's on top of the place you were before.
Oh, so I'm actually on a. Oh, okay.
You're inside a
Basically, yeah.
So you think that the stairs that you came off to get to go inside lead up to where the statue is. It sees out into a sandstorm.
I don't memorize this. I pull this back out.
And there are 2 other statues here.
2 other statues.
Yes. So each of the letters seems to go up to 1.
Ooh, wow. So it's basically just stopping up through. Okay.
Give me an insight check. 15. You think this would be a fantastic representation of a god telling servants what to do?
So it's to scare.
Think exactly Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. So it's to intimidate.
Or instruct.
Or instruct. So basically, it's just
This is some sort of temple.
to invoke fear, to instruct or whatever.
So the statue may be a representation of one of their gods.
Yeah. Interesting. I want to know who operated this.
Will be interesting to see
Well, if you
it
know what
once
the-
the storms died down.
If you know who the god is, you can basically work out.
Can't
who-
tell from the inside.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, you can work out who the god is.
I'm going to go back down to
The others
where the
below.
party is, but back into the room that we end up this one.
Yep.
I'm going to go over to the scorch mark
Mm-hmm.
and the scratch marks and whatever. Just going to see if I can push up there.
Give me a strength check.
I was gonna say
You don't have disadvantage this time.
probably in the time that you've gone up, we've come up to that middle landing. Wondering where you went as you come back in.
That wasn't this way.
But that you find us in that room.
14.
14. It seems to move smoothly out.
Nice.
But you do feel resistance as it moves.
But it's easier.
It's designed to be pushed, whereas you were using a crowbar to pull it on an angle. So it's a lot harder to
so
pull
once you're
than
in, it's easy to push
push
out.
out,
But-
Unless it's locked.
unless it locks.
Yeah, but
And you can see they do have a mechanism in there to for it to lock when it comes in. So once that opens enough for someone to get in and out, it triggers the locking mechanism. So it's designed if someone gets out, they don't get back in again.
meet up with our guy and probably spend the next day.
And you
waiting on
find some way to lock it open. Because, once it shuts, then you won't be able to get back in again until
Yeah.
someone flicks that lever.
Well,
I was about to say, is there a way you can cover the lock so it doesn't lock? Or?
Well,
It's a lot of fun.
there is a way.
Yeah.
You can go back downstairs and then you put the lever in the lock position. And so basically.
No, what he's saying is if it closes the lid flips back up.
Yeah.
So the moment the doors open, the lever's then flicked in the other side,
Yeah.
which will then mean it will lock as soon as the door shuts.
So if we leave this way, we can't come back.
That's really made more sense. So. You
It's,
shouldn't have been able to open it in the first place.
No,
This is
what
some
opened
way.
was the trap
the
doors.
the place has seen
Yeah, the
recent
cylinders.
use of people cleaning it and maintaining it.
Yeah.
So that
Is it-
means that they leave it unlocked on a general basis.
So if they
Because-
notice the levers up, they unlock it so people can get in and then get trapped.
No, but it means that
There's someone in there.
either there's someone in here now,
Yes.
or there's
There's
another
another
way
way in. Yeah.
By all means, I believe that there's someone in there with what I've seen. I don't explain to the party. Basically, what I see further up is that it leads to a statue where it is there to intimidate and basically make will of other travellers or explorers or whatever it may be. Kind of like and as acting as their god. So I believe someone could be doing this, or possibly multiple people. I don't know.
It could be part of the cultist thing as well.
Could be. But I believe that someone is manipulating this.
Okay, does anyone have pittance?
Have what?
Pittance. The climbing kit.
Wrong
Do you,
game.
Asan tell us to bring pittance?
It might not have been because they didn't really do climbing.
Generally no.
I'd say I wouldn't, but I can fly, so would I need it?
Not necessarily.
Crowbars and goes to the-
So, it turns out that Asan does have some pittance because he carries a climbing kit with him wherever he goes. He is that sort of person. So he's happy to chop the door open for you.
It's in thieves too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get him to chop the block. So we can come back to this later and investigate further.
Pair of pliers.
The thief tools wouldn't work so well either.
Okay, so basically this is just designed for opening. This side of the traps and opening blocks.
Okay. And it's generally the climbing gear you use for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So he manages to do that. You get a chance to rate up what you'll see and switch around anything. That's 11 o'clock.
She says that was dramatic stopping
Yes.
suddenly.
No. The sandstorm's finished.
Yeah. Let's go. Woo.
And you hear a break in the sandstorm.
Perfect.
Session.
not
And we end the session.
well
And
planned at all.
That's where you get to decide if you want to investigate this place further.
Yeah.
Because as far as Chauvel's concerned, this is probably the place you really want to look at, but he hasn't really explained that to anyone yet. He's got enough hints.
Yeah.
No, well, now we can go outside and have a look at this.
Chauvel
God.
is very intrigued
So
about
can you do
this
that
area.
before we...
You'll do that next session. That way you get a chance to do what you want to do.